This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter collar. Whole squad been trained to go. Been for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. Two a time, two a time. Time to grind, time to shine. Two a time, two a time.
What's up, baby? What is going on? It is your boy, Stephen D. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is going on? Good morning to my family, and my fellow Finlaws. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. It is Spread Kindness Friday, one of my favorite shows of the week, as you all know. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. Already getting the gift memberships going. Adam Sadowski with a gifted one membership, Miami Sports Music. Daddy Dean was gifted that membership. Shout out to you, Adam Sadowski, and welcome to the family, Daddy Dean. Appreciate you getting that train going. Okay, hey, look, I'm your host, Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. You can also follow Miami Sports Music everywhere except on Twitter, where we are at MIA Sports Music. All right, so make sure you follow Miami Sports Music on all social media platforms at Miami Sports Music and on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. On your way in, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't done so already. No, seriously, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Oh, shout out to Shake Money. Shake Money hitting that gifted one membership, Miami Sports Music. Shout out to you, Shake Money. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. Love it, man. Like it, man. Y'all are on that gift train this morning. Keep it up. If you guys want to gift a membership, just go ahead and hit it in the chat. If you guys want to donate to the channel, I'll get to that in a minute. But if you guys want to hit that like button, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. When you do subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that bell notification. That way, anytime we go live or any new music drops from the Honorable Solo D, you get notified. It's a big deal. Goes such a long way into helping the channel grow, and we can't grow without your help. Also, hey, look, you want to sign up and become a member like Shake Money and Adam Sadowski? You guys can do that too. How do you do that? Well, one of the best ways is in the description below. You will see a membership link. You hit that, join this channel to get access to perks, and you are able to sign up and let somebody else, or you're able to become a member just like those guys. There's a couple different tiers, but we want you to become part of the family. That's right, my Vin Diesel voice and Fast and Furious family. Make sure you guys sign up today. Would love to get new members to the channel. I like it. All right. I love new people sitting at the table and hanging out and just joining us on this beautiful and wonderful platform that we have right here. Also, hey, want to remind you guys, if you want to help the channel grow by donating monetarily, you're able to do that as well. If you hit the YouTube live super chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat, you guys can hit that if anybody wants to go ahead and try that out just to make sure that button works. I mean, I won't be mad at you if you go ahead and test that button out today. It is Spread Kindness Friday. That's one way. If you're rewatching us on replay, you can hit the heart sign. It's got a heart with a $ in the middle of the heart right below us. If you're watching us on replay, you're not watching us live. That is called the YouTube Super Thanks. You can hit that button. If you want to test it out, you can too. And you can donate and give that way to the channel. If you don't want to give on YouTube because YouTube takes out too many fees, whatever that may be, you guys can use Cash App or PayPal. The QR code right on your screen here says $MSM Podcast Network, or just scan the QR code, or you can go to PayPal, which is also MSM Podcast Network. All right, I appreciate it. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show. Just going to do a quick rundown because we got a quick show today. ZSM Sports, Hangry Owls, Vasasaur, a great place to sit.com, and Tail Greeter. Shout out to Tail Greeter. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android devices. Make sure y'all do that today. All right, it is Spread Kindness Friday. Man, I apologize for being an hour late for you guys today. It's been crazy morning. I'm leaving first thing in the morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., going down to North Carolina, see my parents a couple of days, my mom a couple of days, my dad a couple of days. Then we're gonna go do a couple of days in Norfolk and go to a minor league baseball game and check out, one of the museums there and just hang out. We're on whatchamacallit. Spring break starts today, half day. So my kids should be getting home, I don't know, probably in another hour and a half. So yeah, so I've been just trying to get ready because I gotta leave a little bit later. My son's gotta go get a haircut. And yeah, that's what we're doing, man. We got a lot to do today. So I'm just doing the dad stuff, the family stuff. I apologize for being late this morning. I will say next week, there will be 2 shows next week. There'll be one on Wednesday. My man Lewis from the Fins Tailgate will be hosting Wildin' Out Wednesday. And we will also have Friday being hosted by Cameron. Cameron will be hosting Friday, so that'll be a lot of fun too. So shout out to those 2 guys for helping hosting the show next week. So we have a Wednesday show and a Friday show for you next week, but there won't be a show on Monday or Tuesday, and there won't be a show on Thursday, but at least you'll get a little bit of the morning show in the morning on Wednesday and Friday. Last night, I'll kind of get into a little bit of it just because it's a thing, and I'm interested to kind of know where you guys are at. So, I love doing this show every day of the week, and I love being a content creator in this community, and I've gotten to have some amazing friends, in it. And one of my favorite things is getting to meet you, the fans, but as far as the content creators and stuff are concerned, there's a lot, there's a lot. Look, I understand I am not the end all be all. My opinion is my opinion. But I did make a tweet last night. I kind of constructed one and put it out like 1 a.m. this morning. And it's been going viral, believe it or not. 31,000 views so far this morning. 31,000 views. I don't know if I've ever had a tweet with that many views. So shout out to that. And I'm glad because it's about positivity. And that's one of the best parts about it. So I'm going to read it for you guys and share it with you guys. And you guys can, in the chat, just kind of tell me what you feel. But I'm interested to know how you guys feel about it. And here, I'll put it up on the screen. I'll share it and I'll read it to you guys. I put this on Twitter last night. Hopefully you guys can read it. If not, I'm going to read it out to you. It goes, a note to Dolphins content creators. Okay. There have always been beat reporters and columnists that have covered the Dolphins for years. And I'm sure there have been plenty that didn't like each other or didn't like the way they go about their business. But I can't recall them being so rude and disrespectful in a public forum towards one another. Fans consume content differently now. There are content creators, podcasters, YouTubers, and streamers. And as a fan / consumer of all these platforms, I believe there's someone for everyone. Lately, I've seen our fan base and people that have voices within them tear each other apart, be verbally abusive towards one another, rip each other's hard work down, publicly slander them, and even worse, get personal with loved ones and family. First, I would like to apologize for any role that I have played in perpetuating this behavior on my platform. I believe that we're all better than this. Second, we should let our content, viewpoints, work ethic, and platforms be judged by those who choose to consume it, not by each other. We don't have to like one another, but we should respect each other. I'm not perfect, and I've made mistakes. I've hosted a live morning show for almost 3 years now, and there have been moments that I wish I would have handled things differently. But you live and you learn. My third and final point is always remember someone is watching us. How we act towards one another will be looked at by our peers, fans, future potential business partners, and youth. remember, if there's a choice of being right or being kind, choose kind. Sincerely, your fellow Finlaw, Stephen D. Yeah, I posted that because I think it just needed to be said in a public forum, because I've seen a lot of, I don't even want to say negativity, I'm going to say hatefulness and just vile decree towards one another. We're all fans here. A lot, I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying a lot or a majority of content creators got into it because they loved the Dolphins. Not everybody, okay? But I would say a majority of it did. And once they realized they had something, maybe they changed their motive. Maybe something, became differently. Something was different after that. But that's fine too. I think I just want people to respect each other more than anything. I don't have to like anybody. I don't have to like certain people, but I think there's always a level of respect that I think I have for everybody in the industry. Everybody. That includes Tugly Do Wrong, TD Fins Talk, the Fins Side the NFL, Reason, Big O, Fins Tailgate, and all the other wonderful YouTube content creators. That includes the Twitter followers, everybody who's big on Twitter, the people that host Twitter Spaces, Barry Cunningham, all this stuff, right? Like just everybody. You don't have to like every single person that does content. And basically I was talking to mostly the content creators, because I think fans are a little bit differently, or people that choose to consume content have a little bit different set of rules, quote unquote, that they should go by. But as people who create content on a day in, day out basis, I think there's just a different level of respect that we should conduct ourselves with. A level of professionalism that I think has gone out the window over the last few years. And I'm definitely going to say in recent time. So who am I? I'm nobody. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not somebody that thinks that what I say is the gold or the gospel. But I think it's relevant. And if nobody else says it, who's going to say it? Which is why I made the tweet last night, which is why I made the post last night. And I have to admit, it makes me, excuse my language, it makes me damn proud that this is the one thing that I tweeted that went viral, because it means people care. It means people want to see a level of ethics, professionalism, and the way we go about it. Now, let me get something real clear. I understand what sports is. I understand where we are as far as content and how content is viewed of sports, right? Look at ESPN, look at First Take, look at Fox Sports, look at all this stuff now. I totally understand where the world of sports have gone to as far as covering it and how we consume their content and what those programs look like. I get it. I understand that. And I have no problem with healthy debate. I have no problem with people leaving it on the sports table, going off a little bit and just being wiling out. I have no problem with that. That's part of the fun, in my opinion. The debate, the back and forth. Oh man, you think that this guy's a better quarterback than this guy? Let's keep it at football. I have no problem. Go back and forth all day. Man, your takes are ridiculous. I can't. And you always bring up this. You always bring up that. I can't stand this. But when you start getting personal or you start attacking somebody's platform, that's where I think the line is. And that's where I think it shouldn't be crossed. Because you know what you have the power to do? You have the power to turn it off. You have the power to mute them. You have the power to block them. Whatever it is you need to do to get them out of your life, you have the power to do that. And by the way, as a content creator, You should appreciate that somebody else has a different view or goes about it a different way. Why is that? Because that allows somebody else to follow you because somebody else isn't doing the same thing that you're doing. I respect and I mean it, every single person who has a platform. They're all great. They're all great in their own way. To their own. If you noticed, I said in there, I said, let me just go quickly back to it. I said, we should let our content, viewpoints, work ethic, and platforms be judged by those who choose to consume it, which is you, 90% of you who are listening to me right now, the fans, the people that are listening. You guys should control how the content is viewed or appreciated or clowned or whatever it is adjective you'd like to use. You know why I do Wildin' Out Wednesday? Because I want to give you, the fans, an opportunity to become part of the content. Insert yourselves into what's being said. I don't want you to just hear from me. A lot of you who listen to me do not like my takes. You think I'm a homer. You think I'm a Tuanon. You think whatever, I'm a Tua stan or I love Tua, whatever. You think I'm a hopeful guy. I'm not going to be told all this. I appreciate, I'm okay with that. I don't necessarily want everybody to agree with me. Part of the fun of my platform is I allow other people with different perspectives to come up here. And I hope that never changes. But part of the fun of my platform is I allow the fans to create the narrative, create the control. Because at the end of the day, you know why there's an NFL team? Because of fans. You know why I've been able to do this for almost 3 years? Because of fans. Because it's entertainment. It's fun. But some of you need to also respect how much work goes into doing this. How much work Big O, Reason, Dougly Do Wrong, TD Fins Talk, the Fins Tailgate, and I know I'm leaving so many people out. Miss Fins, Larry K. There are a million other people. The people that are on my platform that also have their own platform, CB83, Nando Talk, the people that have been on my platform, Batman, Dolph Freaky, everybody, right? Every single person that at the end of the day has in some way, shape, or form done their take or done some sort of content. Understand there's work. There's so much work that goes into this. Creating thumbnails, buying equipment, making sure that I'm having something to talk about on a particular day, doing the research of that, going in after the show and trying to do timestamps or making sure, responding to people's comments after the show. There's a lot. And by the way, that's just light years of something that does. And everybody does it differently. Dougly uploads a lot of his content. You know how much that man is up till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning sometimes, editing a 20-minute video for you, the fans. TD puts in so much work to say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to talk about today. This is how I'm going to go about it. Reason's the same way. Reason does too. Reason has like 4 or 5 different podcasts on his platform. Shout out to him. Works with a lot of great people. Everybody. Big O, same way. Big O was in radio for 25 plus years. The Fins Tailgate has a vision of something they want to create and are out there actively making sure that the product they put out evolves, gets better, and puts out something that everybody can enjoy. And I try to do the same thing too. So my thing was directed towards content creators. It wasn't directed so much towards the fans. Fans can be haters. Fans can be protagonists. Fans can be, they don't have to think logically all the time because they're fans. They just need to have an undying loyalty to whatever it is they're a fan of. Whatever it is. And that's what makes fans beautiful. The tattoos they might get on their arm because their favorite football team since they were 6 years old. I'd love it, man. I love the Dolphins. Don't tell my wife and kids. It might be the Dolphins and then my kids and maybe my wife. Shh, don't tell nobody, okay? All right? I love the Dolphins. But I think I also put out a lot of quality and great work, or I try to. I try to put my best foot forward. So all I want, I don't necessarily want the quote-unquote drama to stop in the sense of I want to see the debates. I want to see the fun back and forth. I want to see fans of both sides go at it. But what I want is respect from both sides. Respect. Just understand the work that goes into those people. And if you don't like them, don't listen to them. Don't even talk about them. What I will tell you is on my platform, and that's why I said first, I'd like to apologize for any role that I have played in perpetuating this behavior on my platform. Now, again, I'm specifically talking to how content creators view other content creators or talk about other content creators in a public manner. I will say when fans get up on my platform and talk about other content creators, I don't like it, but it's fans talking about something else. I also am giving a voice to fans that don't have a voice. Just be respectful if you don't like somebody. And don't say they're a piece of crap because they're a piece of crap. Say, hey, I just don't enjoy that person's content because I don't believe they do X, Y, or Z. And that bothers me. Okay, fine. I heard you. Move on. You had your platform, and that's what I want. And I know people on my platform have in the past been disrespectful to other content creators, and it's happened on my platform, and those content creators are not a big fan of me because of that. And I apologize, and I can admit that, but you know, that's not how I feel. And I can tell you, if you've ever talked to me behind closed doors, you know I've been respectful to all of you content creators that have done that. And I will also tell you at the same time, I've been publicly supportive of all those people and how they go about their business. And by the way, it doesn't mean that I necessarily like their content, but I respect their content. It doesn't mean that I like them as a person, but I respect them and what they do. And because they're a human, just a human, I need to respect them because that's the decent thing to do. Point blank. You don't have to agree with how I go about things. You don't have to like my Wildin' Out Wednesday. You don't have to like my timeouts. You don't have to like the bands. You don't have to like any of that. You have a choice to change the channel. You have a choice to move on. But when it comes to fans, I think that I can't necessarily stop a fan for feeling how they feel. Because a fan does not put, and this is no disrespect to the fans, they're a part of this. We need fans. We need people that listen to all the content and do it. That's why a lot of us do it. But what I will say to you is this. Content creators shouldn't go over that line because you know how much work you put into your content. Why would you down somebody else for who's doing that on their own content? That's where I'm getting at. Fans are one thing. If fans feel the way that they feel, I can't stop fans for that. Fans have been doing it since the eternity, since the end of time. Yes, I'm going to call, as a fan, I'm going to call Tom Brady Crybaby Brady. Can't stand that man. For 20 years made my life miserable as a Dolphins fan. Made it miserable. As a fan, yes, I hated that I lived in North Carolina and never got any Dolphins content. And when I did on ESPN, it would always trash the Dolphins 90% of the time. I never saw anything good about the Dolphins being said in any public platform until I was an adult and got on social media. And now that's obviously changed too, which is why I did the post. I think fans should respect other fans. I think content creators should respect other content creators. I think content creators should definitely respect fans. And I think there is a decorum that fans should have towards content creators. But I also understand that part of being a fan is it's just the reality. I'm not saying it's right. What, free speech? You can feel how you feel and you can express that feeling. But when you're a content creator, there's a level of professionalism that you should abide by. I just want to see that happen more in our community. That's all. That's all I'm getting at. Towards one another, especially. So that's all I really had to say about that. And I know, that's all I really have to say about that. I think I voiced my opinion a lot up there. I'm glad that it kind of went viral. If you haven't seen it or you haven't seen the reactions, please feel free to go to Twitter, retweet it, look at what people have said. I think it's been a positive thing. And it makes me that if I see something wrong or I see something, it makes me want to step up even more when I see something that's not right. So, fans are one thing. Fans are a whole other story. I'm not ready to get into the full fan side of it yet, but I will say when it comes to content creators, just respect the work that other people do. You don't have to like it, but they're putting in work too to their content, just like you are. That's it. That's it. All right. Fans, y'all are crazy anyway. Y'all are going to say what y'all are going to say. And to a certain extent, I'm not mad at it. I just ask you to be more respectful to those people. But that's all. You don't have to like them. Just be more respectful to it. All right. It is Friday. It's Spread Kindness Friday. Hope you all enjoyed the show today. Hey, guys, if you haven't done so already, donate to the channel, help the channel grow, become a member, sign up to become a member today, hit the like button, and most importantly, spread the link. Let people know that we're here. Let people know that we're here. All right, it is Spread Kindness Friday, so what I wanted to do today was do a live Q&A and just set up the link for you guys to ask me any questions. So we're going to do a Q&A today with me. You guys can ask me anything you want, Dolphins related, life related. It's Spread Kindness Friday. We're going to do about an hour, and then we're going to go. Because I think I've kind of said all my piece about the Dolphins this week. And I know that there are a lot of people that kind of want to ask me stuff. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys, and you guys can feel free to ask me anything in the chat, or you can come on and ask me anything, and I'll answer whatever. Dolphins related, whatever it is. Or you can feel free to comment on anything that I've done, social media, my viewpoint. The floor is yours. It is your show today. I'm dropping the link. The only thing I'm not going to do is a full panel. Not doing a full panel today. That's it. That is it. Good morning, Mark. What's up, man?
Hey, just wanted to thank you for the comments this morning. The show everything was getting a little bit out of control. You brought it back into place. Congrats, props.
I appreciate it, man.
And that's really all I wanted to say, man. Just thank you for bringing the show back around, and have a good vacation.
Hey, man, I love you, brother. Be good. I hate the Bills, but I love you. I hate the Bills.
Yeah, well, I'm not a great Dolphin lover either, but on the other hand, you got a great show and a lot of diverse comments on here. We just got to bring it back around to show respect for people.
At the end of my tweet yesterday, my post, I was like, you know what I should do? I should be like, why are we not directing this hate towards Dolphins, towards Bills, Jets, and Patriots fans? They're the
you go.
They're the ones that we need to be going after. Those people, man. I didn't
I
want
don't
to.
know. There's some guys that like to kick me off the show, so they got some hate going. They got some hate rocking.
But see, isn't that the fun of it though? Like Dolphins fans to build, like you respect that part of the. You might not like it all the time, but you respect the platform and how.
Oh,
it works.
I don't get all that upset by it. Believe me.
But you also understand that's how it should be. Dolphin fans shouldn't like Bills fans, and vice versa. Like, we're a fan of our respective teams for a reason. And
if we could throw some money into the content, it's all good.
Hey man, I appreciate it, Mark. You're the man, brother.
You have a great day and a great vacation.
Thank you, man. Be good. I'll miss you. I'll miss you, man. I'll see you in a week and a half.
Well, see you in a week and a half, dude.
All right, man. Bye-bye. All right, man. Who's next? What's up? If you're gonna put a question in the chat, put hashtag Ask Steven so I can make sure. I'm gonna scroll up and see who's here. Let's see here. What do y'all got for me today? I did put the link up there. Get up here. Come on. What is up? What are y'all doing this weekend? Where y'all going? Who y'all hanging out with? I get to drive to go see my dad for a couple of days. Then I'm driving to my mom's, going to see her for a couple of days. And then I'm going to go show my kids my place where I grew up in North Carolina. I know some of you asked yesterday where I'll be in North Carolina. So my dad lives in Vanceboro, which is right near Greenville, North Carolina. I think about 20, 30 minutes away. My mom lives in Wilmington, North Carolina. But I grew up in Gates County, which is right below Suffolk, Virginia. So I'm going to show them my home. I'm going to show them my childhood home. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And yeah. And then we're going to go up to Norfolk for a couple of days and just hang out there. And that's what we're going to do. Just relax. Just some family time, some quality family time. Family. Good morning, Todd. What's up, buddy?
I'm gonna go ahead and make some phone calls up to Baltimore and tell them to close all the roads out. Keep your ass in here because guess what? I'm gonna miss you for a week and a half because you're my morning show when I'm driving to work.
I'm sorry, man. I tried to get people to come on and replace me, but I couldn't find anybody regularly.
Well,
people have jobs.
Man. Yeah, that's what it is. Everybody has morning jobs, but you're my Dolphin content in the morning, man. I'm gonna miss it, but I hope you enjoy yourself. I wish you and your family nothing but a safe trip and enjoy it.
I appreciate it, man. You're the man, brother. Love you, Todd.
But yeah, we're supposed to hate the Bills fans. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I felt like. I'm like, we should be hating on Bills and Jets and all these other fans.
You know what? We all want the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us just want to hold our team to hold that trophy up.
I agree, man.
We all just have different ways of looking at how to get there.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I believe that's the fun of being a fan, Todd. Like, I'm gonna put you on mute just because a lot of background noise from you. That's part of being a fan, Todd. Like, I have a way of how I should view this and how it how we should do it. I think the fans will always view that things need to be done differently than what the team is doing unless that team does win a Super Bowl. Point blank. And you know what? Here's the funny part about that, Todd. Some of the fans are right about that. Because they wouldn't have to correct something if they were holding up a Lombardi trophy at the end of it. There'd be nothing to complain about. We got what we needed. We got what we wanted. So
I think I've been a fan for so long and been through so much heartbreak. I refuse to get any more gray hairs from it. I want the season to play out and see how we do. You know what I mean?
Hey, well, let me tell you, man, I got that bag of opium. Hope. I got that bag of hope. 2 for $25, man. Hey, man, I love the part be good.
But hey, the other part of being a fan is you got to have that.
I think some fans are just over. Some fans are over the word hope, though, and that's the truth. And by the way, I'm not mad at those fans either because,
I've been a fan for 40 years, man.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 100 times, you must be a Dolphins fan. Okay? Like, for real. That's how I think Dolphin fans look.
I'm heading into work. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Be good. All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here in the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Dirk says, ask Steven, have you heard any new rumors that the Fins are playing in Germany? No new rumors. I did hear that the Dolphins would be the quote-unquote away team potentially next year for that game. So I hope it happens. I'd like to see it happen. Because I'd like to try to go and hang out with you, but I'm staying at your house, Dirk, just so you already know. I'm flying in. You're like, I'm hanging with you. So if they are coming, I'm sleeping on your couch, cuz, just so you know, Dirk, because I want to go. I hope that it happens. Steven got the purest hopium east of the Mississippi. Jason once says, Steven, how we going to get our hopium next week, cuz? Hey, man, look, I don't know. I don't know. D'Angelo, what's up, man?
What's up, Steven?
The same old, same old. I can't call it.
Oh, my goodness, man. I just wake up and I hear you talking this, man. What's going on?
Look, nothing, man. I feel like a voice of reason needed to be said within the community. And I did that. And I don't know if it's going... And it's funny because somebody texted me and they're like, do you think that's going to make a difference what you wrote? And I was like, I don't know, probably not, but nonetheless it needed to be said. No pun intended to Tyreek Hill's podcast. It needed to be said, but yes, I think it just needed to be said. So I felt like nobody else is going to say it, so I'll say it. That's what I went by it.
Oh, okay.
You know how sometimes something just needs to be put out there into the world for people to understand, and you don't know if it's good, and sometimes you don't know if the people that needs to hear it are going to take it in, but you do know that it's out there in the world now, and it's up to them to choose to consume it or not. That's how I felt about that tweet last night. So,
oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, but it's all right, man. You know me. I became a member. I just heard.
D'Angelo, you were ready to crack some heads. You're like, who out here? Who wants to smoke with you? Huh? I hear you, man. Because I had like 3 other people. Like, who do I need to say to who? What? I'm down. We're good.
I got you, man. Hold on, let me get on here. I know I just woke up. Hold on. But
nah. What's that behind you, man? What's that Ohio State thing doing? Look,
man.
No,
look,
man.
Look, just look, man.
We ain't no Buckeyes around here. The U, baby. The U.
I like both of them, man. I grew up I like both. It's
Do you live in Ohio?
Huh?
Do you live in Ohio?
No, Miami.
You live
Miami.
So what's that?
Bro,
what is that
listen,
behind you,
bro,
D'Angelo?
you're not giving me a chance to explain, bro. I'm saying I like both, man. I grew up in Miami. I like both, but it's like once I just seen how like Urban Meyer did it, I'm like, okay, listen, that's gonna be a good group.
Urban Meyer was at Florida before he was at Ohio.
I know that.
It was at Utah before that.
I know that. But when he left Florida, he went to another team and did it. So once I know you say you're not a betting man, but when I started betting on Ohio State, you started
winning. You started winning. What? Urban Meyer covers bets? I never got that news flash, D'Angelo. Things might have turned out different for me as a bettor if I knew about Urban. If I had about Urban Meyer.
Man, listen, I can't be giving people no hints out here. But listen, I'm a member. Listen,
well, I'll tell you what bets he wasn't covering. The ones in the NFL. They said, "See you later."
No. I would never. Nah. See, when he went to the NFL, I already knew. Like, no, you don't do that. Yeah, that was. But as a fan, though, I know everybody got different points. Some, to be honest with you, none of them wrong. Because I know they all want to fix the old line. They want this. They want this. Because I'm part of them. I just want them to win the Super Bowl, Because I know everybody that has a Dolphin platform going to go crazy.
I know. I mean,
they not wrong, Steven. You right. They right. However you want to fix it, they just want it because you got to think about it.
By the way, I want to hear everybody's point of view, right? Like, I want to hear what everybody thinks should be done. I told people all the time, everybody's like, Steven, you're easily swayed. If anybody brings, no, just bring out good points. And I will be willing to think about the current viewpoint I have and if I will change it or not. If you bring good points to the table, I want to listen. Tell me why you think I should think differently. But if you just tell me, Steven, you're just being a blind faith fan, or you're just, giving all this hope to people. I mean, I do believe I am giving hope to people, but I believe that I'm speaking from points. Like, I'm bringing up facts. I'm bringing up numbers. Oh, don't bring up numbers. Okay, well, what about the eye test then? Oh, you can't do the eye test. You got to bring up numbers. What do you want?
Listen, but listen, man. I just woke up, but I didn't mind. But what I'm trying to tell you is, Steven, you're not wrong. Because when you turn on the TV and you see it, listen, the eye test can never go wrong. When you see it yourself like that, man, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. If you see a quarterback can't throw 30 yards more than 3 games, you're not wrong. If you see a receiver cannot do slants or run route the correct way, you're not wrong. If you notice that a corner cannot blitz or can't cover the deep third, or a linebacker can blitz but can't cover, or can't blitz and can cover, or an edge rusher could get in only on one-on-ones, not double team, that's you noticing something. It's not that you wrong. It's you seeing what's the problem. It can be fixed. Might be the individual. It might be coaching. That can always flip-flop.
Hey, D'Angelo, do me a favor real quick. Get back on camera real quick. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put up a picture. You just keep your face right there.
Hey, how you
because somebody told me that you look like this person.
I'm actually
Rick gone with grandma.
Hold on. Here we go.
I'll catch you over there.
Unless you wanted to come drop me off.
Well, I could do that.
Come on.
Right.
I got to go because I got to.
Hold on. I didn't know you're Mario Chalmers. I didn't know you were Mario Chalmers, cuz.
Hey, man, don't call me no Mario
Look at you, man. You look just like Mario Chalmers. Boy, I be getting everybody up here, cuz. Everybody.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna look like no Mario.
Somebody said it in the chat. So I was like, let me go find a picture and let me put it next to each other. Let me see what I can find. All right, man. Look, go take the missus to wherever she needs to go. I appreciate you coming on. Be good, man.
My mom, but I got you, man. I'm gonna
tell Mama Dukes I said what's up. Tell her you need to take that Ohio State thing down, though, man. You need to take that Ohio State things down, though.
All right. Okay? I'm gonna check back in when I come back, Steven. I'll see what you'll be on.
All right, D'Angelo. Love you, brother. I appreciate you coming on, man.
You welcome.
All right. Next up, we got Ron Cleveland. What's up, Ron?
Man. What's going on, Steven, man? What's up with you?
Hey, man, I can't call it. My man Caslin gifted 20 memberships. What?
Hey, Steven, what? I gotta show some love to you, man. You my Carolina brethren, man. I'm from South Carolina, man.
Okay, where in South Carolina?
You heard of Beaufort?
Beaufort?
Yeah.
Beaufort, South Carolina? I totally have. I've definitely heard of Beaufort.
Yeah. I grew up on one of the sea islands over there, 5-minute walk to the beach. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right across the water from Paris Island.
My mom lives in Wilmington, North Carolina. She goes down to Myrtle Beach a lot. And then I've got some friends and family that are in Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah is right by Beaufort.
Yep. So
small world, man.
It is, man. That's what it totally is, man. Lakers all day says, Steven, ask my boy Ron, is he still doing his Knicks shows? Tell him I say what's up.
Hey, Steven, Lakers all day. I'm gonna give you a heads up. The door isn't fully closed. I'll say that much.
Are you a New York Knicks fan?
Yeah. Growing up in South Carolina, man. I tell you, Dolphins wise, people say, how are you a Dolphins fan? You from South Carolina. Why aren't you a Carolina Panthers fan? Mm-hmm. When I was coming up, there was no Carolina Panthers.
That's right.
You know
they
what
weren't
I mean?
there until 96.
I was born in 73. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was a Dolphins fan since I was 13 years old.
Mercury Morris, 13. Mark Cooper, Mark Clayton.
Yeah. When Dan Marino was throwing that thing.
Irving Fryer.
and never left him. You know what I mean?
I ain't mad at you.
When it came to basketball, I was a Patrick Ewing fan. So when Patrick Ewing got drafted,
No. You were Starks for 3. Sorry, I had to hit the John Starks on you.
Starks was a hard-nosed player, and you respect those kind of players.
My wife,
he got it hard way, but
loved those Knicks teams in the 90s. She loved them. She loved, whatchamacallit, Marv Albert calling those games back in the day. The Starks for 3 and
the dunk.
Yeah, man. You guys had they had a squad. It sucked. I mean, you guys had to play against Jordan, so
Jordan wasn't there.
Jordan wasn't there. You might have won one, but I will say you had your shot against Houston, but that Houston team was fired, cuz.
They were fired. Then when we got Sprewell and Camby, Ewing was on the way out. If we could have got Sprewell and Camby about 3 or 4 years sooner, the Knicks would have got one.
Hey, man, let me ask you, what do you think about James Dolan? Is he the worst owner in all of sports?
No.
What?
No, and I'm going to tell you why. My criteria for an owner is how you spend that money. If you're willing to go out and bring players to the team, if you're willing to get rid of coaches when they ain't performing, if you're willing to get rid of front office guys if they ain't performing. Now, do he have a temper? Do he, maybe get a little, beside himself when stuff happen? Yeah. You know what I mean? And he take it out on people. But as a whole, and this is another thing. The first African-American front office, the New York Knicks had that. And the New York Knicks probably employ more African-Americans than any team in the NBA.
Well, according to Charles Oakley, James Dolan is the worst thing in the world.
Well, what, man? Charles could have handled that better. It was blamed to go on both sides. You are the
first Knicks fan I have ever talked to that has actually said something decent. Or hell, you were even nice about James Dolan.
I like him. I'm gonna tell you, I just told you my criteria for owner. That's why I like the Dolphins owner too.
You like Stephen Ross.
I like any owner that's willing to spend that money. Hey, Stephen, that's one thing that we never have to worry about. We never have to worry about our owner being like the Cleveland Browns owner, Cincinnati owner. You know what I mean? Keeping people around that should have been fired. What's the guy? Marvin Lewis should have been 5 years ago.
Ron, you're going to trigger a lot of people with that statement. You are going to trigger a lot of Dolphins.
It's the truth, though. Hey, would you rather a cheap owner or one that's willing to spend to bring people in and get rid of people when they ain't performing? Don't just keep people around. Oh, because I paid them.
Here's the problem. You either get Jerry Jones or Al Davis, or you get Daniel Snyder. There's no in between, right?
Exactly.
And Stephen Ross has come close to being in between, but he's always made the wrong decisions. He tries, he gives a shit, but he always makes the wrrong decision.
And I agree 100%.
That's my beef with him, because
I'm gonna tell you who I love the most.
I just want you to make the right decisions, man.
I love Wayne Huizenga. You know why? Because Wayne Huizenga had got it. He got it. I was around long enough to watch him work. You know what I mean? Not only was he willing to pay, but the guy stayed out the way. And that's the biggest knock on Steven. Steven get in the way, because right now, the only knock I got on him is he cost us them draft picks. That really teed me off.
And he got caught.
And keeping Greer.
Real talk, though, Ron, be honest.
Keeping Greer as
long as he has. Did he do anything differently than any other owner has probably done in the past?
No, he just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. That's what I tell people. And by the way, my statement wasn't condoning or disapproving of what he did. I'm just clearly stating the facts. He's not the first owner to ever do it. He was just the first owner to get his hand caught in the cookie jar, which further perpetuates the cycle of every decision that man has made has been the wrong decision.
The one I don't agree with, I think Greer should have been gone a long time ago.
I love Greer. You know I love Greer, Ron. I love Chris Greer. Now I'll say this. Again, you know how I was just saying, look, if you come to me with facts or you come to me with good point, you can change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, Chris Greer is top 10 GM in the league, and somebody then stated, I don't know if they said it on the round on the chat, or they said it in the panel. they said, Steven, how can a GM be top 10 if they've never won a playoff game? And that was a gut punch. And I was like, you bring up good points. Like, that's a fact. Like, I can't say he's a top 10 GM if he's never won a playoff game. I will say I think the man's a genius when it comes to salary cap manipulation and getting value and greatness from trades. I do think he's whiffed on some very important draft picks, but I also think he's picked some great ones too.
Yeah.
So I just want to, but I'll tell you what, Ron, let them win a couple playoff games. That man's automatically a top 10 GM in the league, point blank.
Well, I tell you what, if
the
Dolphins mess around and get to the championship with this guy, that's going to say a lot, man. Because the Miami Dolphins ain't been to a championship game since Shula.
Mid-90s.
Let that sink in. Not since Shula.
I know.
Have in it said the Dolphins even sniffed a championship game. But what I wanted to talk to you about, Steven, is funny Lakers all day. Talked about the YouTube channel that I used to have, and it was thriving. You know what I mean? It was a Knicks channel. And one thing you said, it resonated with me because that's how my platform was. There was other guys that I dealt with in the Knicks universe, we'd even go on their shows.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I would never do, I would never attack a person's opinion about how they feel about the direction of the team or whatever. Because let me just pause you.
TD's one of my best friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
I clearly disagree with a lot that he says on the public platform all the time. But I think the man, like, I will never disrespect him in his platform. I just don't agree with his viewpoints about the team all the time. That's part of the debate.
Why?
That's the fun of it. That's the fun of it.
And guess what? You know why?
Yeah.
Because you're not a robot. If we were all programmed, man, it wouldn't be no need for a YouTube channel. Would it be a need for a YouTube channel if all of us thought the same?
Nope, you're right.
I mean, and that's the thing that I learned, you know what I mean? And the one thing I think, the biggest thing, and I think I should have trademarked this phrase I came up with, is you can't get attached to players, you got to get attached to progress.
Woo! Say it one more time, boy, just drop some knowledge.
You cannot get attached to players, you got to get attached to progress. And if a player is in the way of progress,
I like that.
You got to remove them.
And are you on Twitter?
I used to be, but I kind of got
on Instagram. Twitter. Are you on anything? I need somebody to tweet me that.
Somebody you can go ahead and use it. Go ahead and use it.
I need to use that. I like it.
Because it's something that's valuable that I think people should abide by. And what really taught me that is that guy we talked about earlier, Patrick Ewing. I was attached to him, and when the Knicks got rid of him, I almost stopped watching basketball because the Knicks got rid of my best player, my favorite player.
Your favorite player.
And I was like, you know what? I said, man, hey, Patrick Ewing going to have to retire at some point. And then I had to look at the situation. Patrick Ewing was coming up the court, late, and we on the fast break, and he the last person getting up and down the court on defense and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, I understand. You can't put him on the bench because his pride and the fact that this guy was the guy for your franchise. You can't put him on the bench. So if he don't want to retire, what the franchise going to do? You got to move him. And that hurt to see that happen. But when I looked at it from that lens, Steve, I was like, you know what? I can no longer get attached to players. I got to get attached to progress. And players' shelf life with a team is shorter than a fan's shelf life with a team. Think of how many players we done seen come from our teams, come and go. You know what I mean?
I know about 23 different starting quarterbacks post Dan Marino.
Thank you.
All right, about 23 might be a couple
too
many, but it's in the 20s at this point.
You can really tell when a person get attached to players by how they speak and how they're not fully objective.
And let me just say this, Ron. I love Tua. But if Tua ever leaves the Dolphins, who's next? Who's next to the table? I'm ready to root for him. Let's go.
Exactly. And if Tua's thinking up the players, hey, I gotta call it like it is. If he's playing good, I gotta call it like it is. And people nowadays they call it flip-flopping. No, you change based on new evidence that you get on a player.
Right.
Coaches would be fired if coaches kept looking at what players did in their past and not what they're doing in the present. Yep. Players, think about it. Players get benched all the time by the coach. I guess people say the coach flip-flop. You know what I mean? So that's one thing.
I got flip flops, man. Sometimes this show is called Flip Floppers, the #1 Miami fan morning show, but that's okay. I'm good with that moniker. I'll take it. I'll take it, man.
And Steve, I appreciate you, man. Like my thing is, man, when I started my show, it was about clean content that your children can go turn on and watch, and you don't have to worry about what's being said. How people
well, some Wildin' Out Wednesdays, that swear jar does go by the wayside, but yes, that's what I try to do. Something that if you're around your kids and you're working or you're around at work that you can turn on and listen to, that's why there's a swear jar. So for the people that try to say the swear jar is not real, it is, okay? Ron is a prime example of why it should be.
And I tell you this, man, I appreciate it. And just to let you know, man, keep doing what you're doing because there's always a place for clean content. I don't care what nobody says. There's always a place for it, and there's people out here that want to hear clean stuff, man. And I'm proof of it. You know what I mean? My mouth used to be nasty as all get out.
Hey, I'm the product of 2 sailors, Navy sailors, and the cussing like a sailor is a real thing in my household growing up, and so my parents. They had their moments, but yes. So I know how to cuss, and I do enjoy letting it loose. You ask the Finn's Tailgate crew, I can let it loose when I need to, Ron. Okay, but yes, I agree, man.
And Steve, I say this: so far as hands in the cookie jar, the only reason why Stephen Ross' hand got caught is because Flo told on him. If Flo would have never said nothing, that would have never got out.
Ron,
let that sink in.
Ron. I ain't got time to debate this with you this morning. I got other people in the back.
Hey, I'm gonna let you go. Hey, I'm gonna let you go. But hey, that was the catalyst for everything, man. The wheels got put in motion.
Ron, I want to see you up here more, man. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, I'm looking forward to the season, man. Hey, and the last thing I tell you about my Dolphin fandom, but Dan Marino. I worked in the hospital industry for 13 years on the business side, and my director, she went to the University of Florida, and one of her girlfriends ended up becoming a Dolphins cheerleader and dated. They ain't not supposed to date players. She ended up dating Pete Stoyankovich, and I think they ended up getting married. But anyway, the director of my department gave me a hand sign. She told me, I got a surprise for you, Ron, when you come to work. She gave me a hand signed Dan Marino actual signature on one of his photos. So
see, I love that, man. I love when your work crew knows your fandom to the best team in the world, the Dolphins. By the way, I like the number 91 jersey, man.
Yeah.
Love
Can't
91.
wait. My son bought me this. You know what I mean?
I like it.
And so what I did is I gave him that Dan Marino stuff, and I told him, I said, man, you hold that, and by the time you become an old man like me, once you hit about 50 years old, that signature gonna be worth a lot of money one day.
That's right, man. Hey, I hope it happens. Hey, Ron, I love you, brother. Appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, man. Keep doing your thing.
You too, man. Bye-bye. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Let me bring in this guy. What up, hater?
What's good, Steven?
What's up, buddy? Are we friends again?
Man, listen, we're down like 4 flat tires. We're always going to be friends, man.
Are we down like 4 flats on a Cadillac?
Absolutely, Steven. You already know.
What's
you
up,
already
man?
know. Nothing. Getting ready to dropping off kids and stuff. Me and my wife are getting away for a little bit. We're going to hop on this cruise and go shoot over to the Bahamas for the weekend.
What cruise you going on?
Margaritaville.
Are you going on the Dolphins cruise?
No, the Wayne Buffett. Margaritaville.
Oh, you mean Jimmy Buffett?
Or Jimmy Buffett, yeah. That's
Wayne Buffett.
That's
Wayne Newton. Different white guy, Lewis. It's Jimmy Buffett and Wayne Newton. You just put both of them together.
Okay, well, they look the same to me, Steven.
All white people don't look alike, Lewis, okay? God.
Whatever his name is, I don't care. Hey, real quick, though, before I go, because this is...
My mom is a part of Margaritaville. She's done that cruise before.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
but we're gonna get into the real, Stephen, because I think your tweet, you were spot on. I retweeted it, and as content creators, and hopefully me trying to have ambitions to start up and do mine and being a part of the Fence tailgate, I agree with your sentiment. But for me, I'm gonna go more with the fan base, because Stephen, I was up last night till 2:30 in the morning arguing with some guy. And again, see, when we come up here and we debate, Stephen, it's all in fun, and I go at everybody. Me and you have went at it, me and Von Joe, and I consider you guys are brothers to me. You and Von Joe are two dudes I look at in the community, and I'm like, I would do anything for these two gentlemen, right? And that doesn't mean we have to agree and stuff. For me, though, Stephen, and this is the real, right? I got an 8-year-old son. I told you, Stephen, I'm about to start coaching him in football. I got a 19 and 17-year-old that I coach them in football. One's in college now. One's getting ready for his senior year in high school, right? I got an 8-year-old son that sits down with me for this past year, loving the Dolphins, getting excited because he watches two brothers play football, knows how much I love this team, and he's starting to get into it, right?
Love it. Yep.
Stephen, I can send you the DMs from my Twitter where people have attacked me because of my takes, not only about a certain player, but because of this football team, threatening my life. I've had people threaten my life going, oh, if I ever see you at the tailgate or at a football game, I got guns for your mouth. I've had people call my personal number where I answer, it's all fine. But my wife answered one night, Stephen. I was sleeping. I work a lot of hours. I was sleeping. My wife answered, and somebody told my wife over the phone, right? Oh, if we ever see your husband at a game, I got guns putting in his mouth and stuff. Now me and my wife have to sit down and have conversations because when my 8-year-old son tells me, hey, Dad, I watch you on all these shows. By the way, my 8-year-old son, Stephen, he loves your show. He loves you.
I appreciate it.
He wants to come join me at a tailgate to come hang out with you and everybody else, right? But me and my wife have to sit down and have conversations now about, oh, well, Lewis, you've been threatened. And now she's just concerned about me taking my 8-year-old son to root for a team that we all love.
Look,
it's sickening, Stephen. It's sickening with these fans.
100%.
Fan base.
I'm sorry that you went through that, man.
Bro, it's been going through that. And so people don't think I'm lying, right? I'll send them to you so you can see. Again, I was up till 2:30 last night.
You don't have to prove nothing to me. I believe you. If you say something, it's the gospel. Like I believe you, man. You don't have to prove nothing to me.
Stephen, talking about what's going on in my house, threatening looking me up. I've had people in my, we're going to find your address. We're going to run up in your house and stuff. Bro, this is where I sleep, where my wife sleeps, and where all 4 of my children, I can sleep. And I'm sorry for cussing, Stephen, but it's emotional for me because when I see a tweet like yours, and I know the kind of person you are, and again, trolling and having fun with a debate, I think you and Ron that were just talking about it, hit it spot on. When we're out here debating, it's one thing that's fine. I can have a difference of opinion and we can still joke and be friends and whatever, keep it moving. But that's why as content creators, I agree with you, we have to be better. But the fan base in general, Stephen, has to be better because nobody should be having their life threatened or having concerns about taking your children to a stadium to root for a team that we all love because we have some sensitive people in this fan base. And I'll just leave it at that, Stephen. It bothers me.
Well,
like let
me speak to it while you're up here because it's very important. So my tweet and my post last night was directed to content creators, but I think there needs to be a separate tweet and post directed to fans. And I think maybe I'll make one on my trip down to North Carolina this weekend. But here's what I'll say about fans. And number one, let me just first and foremost state and validate, man, you should never have to go through that, man. That sucks that you go through that you have gone through that and are going through that. There's no need for that crap, man. There's just none. And it's stupid if people are getting to that point. I don't understand how people can be so hateful in that standpoint or want to take it to that scenario because of a view for any reason, honestly. Like we should all have empathy for everybody and understand that everybody has something, and you know what? Hurt people. And I'm not here trying to, preach to you guys about, ethics or empathy or anything like that. That's not what I want to do. What I do want to say is, though, not even related to the post that I made last night about content creators, as far as fans are concerned, I think keyboard warriors, I believe that 90% of fans, what they say, that if they were in front of said person, whether that be a content creator, whether that be a player, would not say that to their face. They wouldn't. They would not say it. And you know what? I might even be included in that. I talk all the trash in the world about Noah Igbenogany, and I'll come back to the fans to the content creators in a second. I'm pretty sure I would say to Noah, hey, look, man, you haven't been good for 3 years. I got to be honest, from a fan perspective and overseeing this team, I don't know why you're still on the team. You know, if it was a legit conversation back and forth, I wouldn't go up and be straight disrespectful to the guy. I understand how hard he's worked to get to where he's at. But I will say, for the most part, when I've called him trash or anything like that, I don't think I would say that to his face. I don't think I would. I'd be respectful to him. And I think that 90% of people, 99.9% of people would not say anything that they have said behind the guise of a Twitter, Twitter verbiage, Twitter keyboard warriors, chat keyboard warriors, hell, even getting on a panel and saying something and not showing your face. They would never say that to the player's face or to another content creator's or person's face. They just wouldn't, because it's rude and it's disrespectful, right? What I will say is this, Lewis, and to your wife and to anybody, you know how we combat stuff like this? We combat that by doing the exact opposite in promoting that within the community, and not promoting it, modeling it. So, like, Lewis, when you come to the tailgate at East 32, you know a couple things. You know you're going to have a good time. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be fun. But you also know that nobody's there for any personal drama, nor has there ever been. And even if there was, you've seen some of the dudes there, it would not get to that level there. It just wouldn't.
Agreed.
Right?
Yep.
Because nobody would allow it to get to that level. The other thing I'll also say to it, too, is if we want to change the narrative of how people react or talk towards one another, we need to talk to each other differently. And I believe debates are fun. But some people are not as mature as other people. So they can't take things the same way. If they see something, even if it might be a joking matter between you and I, they might interpret it differently. Is that fair? No. Should that be reality? It shouldn't be. People need to be more mature and understand sometimes jokes are jokes, or sometimes we're just going at it for the sake of the argument, where I've been like, man, forget you guys. All you guys are haters. I can't stand you guys. Or, right. But we know that there's love and respect for one another, and we would never, ever go there or take it there, right? But I think we also probably need to put in the back of our minds that there might be somebody out there watching, not that takes one of our sides, and we're going at it, and they're taking it seriously. Man, nah, man, F that guy, man. Screw him and his family and everybody he's affiliated with.
I get it. And again, when I say the fan base, I'm not talking about everybody, because, again, I wouldn't have met people like you and Von Joe. And hell, I said it the other day because Trucker Sean, I see him in the comment section. Shout out to him. He's been coming around Twitter. So now he's starting to see kind of, and Level 2 Noob's been in there as well in Twitter. And so it's not everybody, Steven, in the fan base. And like, I wouldn't have been able to meet people like you and Von Joe and shit. I mean, hell, I met Trucker Sean at one of your tailgates. And again, sometimes, hell, most of the times I'm up here and I'm spewing my nonsense. Trucker Sean is in the chat. He's giving me the business. But that's a brother of mine. I don't come at Trucker Sean and say, hey, Trucker Sean, I hope something happens to your family, or threatening Trucker Sean. The debate is healthy, and I get what you're saying, But listen, if I'm joking around with people, we should be able and I get it. Some people are not as mature, but bro, like if you see me and Stephen D having a debate and he calls me a hater, I call him a two-a-near, and we're going back and forth in that, everybody should be able to difference the
You would
real hate from being a troll.
99.9% of people should, yes, but we don't live. You have to admit, Lewis, we live in a crazy world and a crazy time right now. And there are certain people that are out there that do exist that can't interpret or process that information that same way. Just they can't.
Well, we got to get better, Stephen. And I know you probably have other people, so I'll get.
No, I know. I don't have anybody else in the back room right now.
Okay,
but I mean, everybody. There's people that are more than welcome to come on.
It's just frustrating for me, Stephen. So listen. I'm not going nowhere. I'm always going to be on this channel, but I will. I'm going to take your advice, and I will try to. I do want to help this community more than I want to hurt it, and I think you've said a lot of great things to where we do have to be better. And again, like I said, I wouldn't have retweeted your tweet from last night if I didn't believe in every word you said.
I appreciate it,
but
man. No, I appreciate
again,
that. I think there's a thing called healthy debate,
absolutely.
Right? Healthy. I don't even want to say the word debate, Lewis. I think I want to say the word like healthy relationships. But as far as fans to content creators, I do think there needs to be a level of decorum that fans should adopt. That I can admit. And is part of the reason, and I'll go back to saying it, Lewis, that because I had somebody ask me, why did I apologize for anything? Because in my post last night on Twitter, and I said, because I think I have, directly, I have my platform has, right? Even if I haven't, my platform has, and by association, I'm affiliated with that, right? And there have been times that people have come on my platform and been very disrespectful to other content creators, and I don't ever want to censor anybody. I don't ever want to be like, no, you can't say that. No, you can't. I can be like, hey, man, look, what I will say is I'm going to do a better job of saying that if somebody is blatantly I don't think I have a problem if somebody comes on and says, look, I don't like insert name because that person chooses to do X, Y, or Z, or I don't like that person insert name because I believe that they're just a character or they're a hater or whatever. That I don't think. I gave you a platform to talk, and if you're not getting that platform at that place to talk about it, feel free to come and say it here. Maybe they'll hear it. Maybe they'll think differently. You don't know what you don't know, right? But when a fan comes up here and says name calling, I think I do want to put a stop to that. And I can admit that I have allowed it on my platform in the past, and I think I'm going to cut down on it from fans because you guys need to be better as fans too, 100%. And
absolutely. And again, see, if someone thinks, and I'll insert names because I talked to this man as well. Like TD, right? I talk to TD on a personal level. He has my number. I have his. I don't never get mad when I see a tweet when someone says, oh, TD foolish talk or TD is a hater. No, because they're attacking his takes because, I'll be the first one to say, sometimes TD does get outlandish, right? Sometimes TD is, but I also can understand that TD is a fan of this football team. Yeah. And just because he views this team a certain way, I'm never going to get disrespectful with TD. We just have to be better, Stephen, in the aspect. If you want to disagree with someone's take, I see the homie, shout out to JR Black. This is a man that me and him have went at each other in the chat. I've been on platform. I've called him name. I see him in the chat now saying, Lewis, you shouldn't have to go through some of this stuff. Respect, fam. And I get it. And right back to you, JR Black. That's what I'm talking about right there. Because at the end of the day, JR Black, whether I agree with his takes or not, he is family because he bleeds the same thing I bleed. Red, but if we're really going to talk about it, we bleed aqua and orange. That's what it is. So it doesn't matter.
By the way, I don't think the argument, Lewis, is people's takes. I think it starts out as people takes, and then it goes to another level, right? It goes to something totally different. but I can admit that I've perpetuated some of that cycle on my platform. What I will do moving forward, try to do a better job. How about that? I can't guarantee anything because I can't stop people from saying what they're going to say, but I can do a better job of maybe I might be a little bit more strict in cutting people off or throwing people out than I have in the past, you know? And that's something that I got to do, right? That's something that I need to work on. So my show will evolve. It will get better. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. I'm not saying that it's going to, you know, end world hunger or end the problems that are plaguing the community. But I know that I can do a better job of trying to monitor what people do say on my platform. Because at the end of the day, no matter my feelings towards one person in the community or another, if I'm sitting here preaching about how we should act as content creators, then, and again, my post was predicated and focused to content creators about content creators, not about fans to content creators. So, you know, I'll just put that out there. Lewis, I'm going to keep you on. I'm going to bring somebody else into the conversation that we both know and love and talk to.
Right.
Von Joe. Good morning, Von Joe.
Look at my
Good morning,
brother.
gentlemen.
That's
up, buddy?
my homie right there. That is my absolute homie right there. Nothing but love, respect, and admiration for this man. Another, again, family man, father, hardworking man that loves this. Again, bro, these are two gentlemen. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would have never met these two great, wonderful men if I didn't have this great platform that Stephen D has, and I wouldn't have went to no tailgates and stuff. Again, bro, like, this really hits home for me, and I even get emotional talking about it. I really do love y'all, man. Like, you guys are my homies. You know what I'm saying? And, bro, we just have to be better. We just have to be better as a fan base. All this fan-on-fan crime that we do, again, one thing is to debate, another thing is to hate. And I think we've crossed the boundary in those two aspects of a healthy debate and just being a pure out hating a person for their takes. And I just want that stuff to stop, man. I really do.
I would agree 100% that the lines have been blurred in that sense, right? Because at the end of the day, I agree with you that if it wasn't for Steven's show, I would have never met any of you guys, right? And listen, thanks to Steven and Cameron 954, I went to my.
Look, see what happened, Lewis? He had that to his cell services started dropping. You there? I can't hear you. You got to go out and come back in.
Well, you better get off that Tua internet, that Tua
Wi-Fi. Get off that Tua internet, that Tua Wi-Fi.
Oh, we
better
just
be breaking down. I know we're gonna start triggering people. We don't want that. See, but that's a joke. That's a joke.
It is a joke. Absolutely. That right there. That's what I'm saying, Stephen. That's a joke.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, we got it fine.
I was saying that it was thanks to you guys. You know, I went to my first tailgate. Actually, I went to 2 tailgates this past year. Right? Almost had heat strokes. But it is what it is. Celebrated as teams. And we won those games, by the way. That's one thing I can say. We did win those 2 games. But I agree 100% because people know, and we all know that I could go 0 to 60 real quick. Right?
Real
from
quick.
calm.
And
yeah,
from calm. You did this week. You definitely did.
From calm, hoodie Ronjo to losing my mind, right? But at the end of the day, we are fans, and I'm gonna agree. I have to do better, right? And I have to.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. But
No. I'm a man. I'm a listen, Steven. At the end of the day, I'm a son.
And let me say, I wasn't going to say nothing publicly. I would have said something behind closed doors. I just haven't had a chance. I've been crazy.
Yeah, no. I know. Because Wednesday I went off the leash, but I was just wilding out Wednesday. That's not a normal thing.
You lost your mind on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's not a normal thing, right? So now, at the end of the day, I am a son. I'm a brother. I'm a father, and I'm a husband, all in that order, right? And at the end of the day, I'm also a fan of this Dolphin football team. But at the end of the day, it's at the beginning of the day, I wake up in the morning and all those things that I mentioned before the Dolphins come first. Right? And I love this team. I've gotten into wars with this team. I've gotten into literally fistfights for this team. Right? And as I age,
that's not what we trying to do over here, Vonjo.
No. Follow me. Let me finish. But really, when I take a look at everything, as I age, you think about it. These players don't really know us. They didn't know about the fist fights I've thrown, the blood, sweat, and tears, right? And if anything was to happen to one of us, it's our family that will sit there and cry. Our family will sit there and miss us.
Yeah.
Right? As much energy that we expend, right? Tua doesn't know me. Ross doesn't know me. Greer doesn't know me. Right?
Nor
anybody on that
nor
team.
From a football level, do you know them?
Exactly. I don't know them either. Right? So if something happened to them, hey man, that sucks, but it's not gonna bother me as much as if something happened to my son.
Yeah.
Right? Or
by the way,
if something happened to you or Lewis, if something happened to you or Lewis, that will bother me more than if something happened to them. Because I've actually sat down with you brothers. I've sat there and drink with you brothers. I have broken bread with you brothers. We've laughed and we have celebrated together. Right? I never did that with them, but that's the team that we celebrate and that have brought us together. Right?
Yeah.
And I guess and again, I'm not a content creator, right? Except for when I meet up with Steven and I'm on the streets. But again, I'm not a content creator.
On the streets.
Right. I am just a fan celebrating my team and my love and my passion. And this is supposed to be something we enjoy that distracts us from reality of everyday life. That's what football is. We choose to follow the Dolphins and choose them as our team to represent us on the field. But again, they are our distraction from our everyday life. When I get off work, when I sit there, Dolphins distract me from what else and all the madness that's going on in the world. So it's gotten to the point where the fan base and what's supposed to be something we enjoy and love have become a place of stress and causing additional stress on our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't. So I'm going to go ahead and make a vow right now, Steven. I am going to do better. All right? We're going to have more hoodie Vonjo versus Demon Time Vonjo. All right? And I think a lot of it comes from when somebody, and I'm going to let you know, I think a lot of this happens when somebody can't hold their own on a debate. Because I feel like once you can't hold yourself on a debate and hold your position, and instead of you saying, okay, you know what, you're right, or let me think about that, they resort to name calling and personal shots. And it shouldn't be that. Be man enough or woman enough to sit there and say, you know what, I'll think about that. Or you know what, you might have a point. Let me go ahead and, or just debate it and say, you know what, we're just going to agree to disagree. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say this. Listen, Lewis is my brother. They sat there and said, Lewis is the president of the Wolfpack and I'm the vice president, right? Yesterday, me and Lewis was going at each other's neck about this Tua and Dan Marino and this Super Bowl debate. We were on complete opposite sides of the spectrum. But at the same time, as passionate as we were, we never sat there and attack each other's family. We never sat there and attack each other. We never called each other out of name. We just sat there and held our own ground when it comes to, and we debated as grown men. Right. Passionately, but at the same time, it was never disrespectful. Right? So that's how it should be. And that's how it should always be with everybody on the fan base, because at the end of the day, we still say fins up and we still celebrate the Dolphins during kickoff. Do we not? If they win the Super Bowl, will we not all cry?
We would.
Absolutely.
So what we doing here, man? Come on. I agree with you, Steven. I agree.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
100. And like I said, I'm going to be doing better.
It's all Steven's fault anyway.
It's all my fault.
Even on Wilding Out Wednesday, I will be doing better.
By the way, I don't want Wilding Out Wednesday to change. Like, I want the debate. I want the argue.
No. That's going to happen.
You know, Like
I'm still on that next, but
yeah,
it's gonna be respectful.
and if you think somebody's acting wild or wilding out, you can kick them off or you can whatever. Like that's the fun of the show. I don't want that to change. I just know. I just need.
It
Think
could
we
be
just
done
need to be a little.
respectfully. It could be done better.
Yes, it can be done tactfully. Better.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, speaking of being a father, I gotta go pick up the little ones. I'll holler at y'all boys.
I love you, man. Be good, Vonjo.
DJ.
Fins up.
Later.
All right, Lewis. We got one more person, and then we're gonna end. Who's I'm a Dolphins fan?
Lewis knows who this is.
Oh,
what happened yesterday? What did I miss?
Rashad, you seen what happened yesterday?
No, I promise. I was working all day. Once I got off that Twitter space, I got on YouTube, watched a little interview, and I was at work all day.
Okay, well, again, but you're in that group chat that's on Twitter, and you seen what was going on. And again, listen, Rashad, me and you have had heated debates. I've never came at your family,
Always.
talked about your personal life. Same thing with you,
Never.
right? And you see, and again, Rashad, you being Twitter, it's the fan base that when we talk about a certain player or a certain aspect of this team, we should be able to debate, joke around, have fun, even throw a couple jabs at each other.
Yeah, 100%.
Everybody can do that, and everybody should have the right to do that. But me, just like Rashad, Stephen D, or anybody else in this damn fan base, should be able to feel how they want to feel about how they root or fan for this team. And when it gets on a personal level, and again, I have to have a private conversation about, hey, Lewis, I don't think you should be able to take your 8-year-old son to Hard Rock Stadium because my wife is concerned for not only my safety, but again, that's her 8-year-old son. And for her to have to sit down, and again, this has been multiple conversations since this stuff has happened. Me and her have had to have about me taking my son to root for it. Bro, he's starting to, again, an 8-year-old impressionable little kid that sees his father love this team, right? And I have to sit there and have arguments, not even arguments, but conversation, dialogue with my wife about taking him to the stadium to watch a game. Does everybody hear how ridiculous that sounds?
Yeah, I remember you saying that when I first met you. You were saying that somebody was threatening your family and stuff.
And it hasn't stopped a shot. And yesterday, again, it started off as joking, but people are bringing up what goes on in my household. Bro, what does it matter what goes on in my household? The only thing that goes on here is this is where I put my 4 kids to sleep, and I sleep next to my wife every night. That's what goes on in my household. I don't attack nobody's household because I don't care what goes on, and again, in Steven's household, Rashad's household, or anybody else. Now, can I debate Rashad or debate Steven? Absolutely. Can I go at Steven's neck and Rashad's neck? Absolutely. Just like I would hope and wish that they would come at me, because that's what makes us stronger. That's what gives us this bond, this debate, but to attack someone personally and bringing families involved, bro, there's no need for that. There's no need. It's sickening.
Not at all.
Sickening.
So it's just about having respect for other people. That's all. It's just about being respectful and having respect for other people. And if we can do that, I think it's better. I don't want Wednesdays to go anywhere while out Wednesday, and it's not going to. Just be more respectful of each other. That's all. That's all. Just be more respectful of each other. That's it. That's all I want. People to be more respectful of each other. And if we can do that, I think this community will go a lot further. It will go a lot further. That's just my opinion of that. And if you disagree, that's fine. EM, I see you in the chat, man. Feel free to come up here and speak your piece if you feel differently, because I think I've been nothing but respectful to people in the community and the people that, that's just my opinion.
I will say a lot of people should be more choosy with their words, because you don't know what the next man is capable of. Y'all could be sitting here threatening Lewis and anything. You don't know if he got a brother or something listening and might take that the wrong way. You could be joking and they can take it serious. They don't play like that. I have family members like that don't joke like that because they take it real serious.
Mm-hmm.
And My best bet is, I mean, not my best bet, but I recommend that people be more selective. If you're losing a debate, you're losing a debate. Don't.
Losing a debate is one thing. That's not what we're talking about. Like,
I
if
know,
you
I know. I'm just saying.
yeah,
So
yeah.
somebody's upset with your take, so now you want to get disrespectful and all the extra stuff. It's uncalled for. We're fans of the same team. Like, relax. Just because I don't like a player that you like, or vice versa, you want to talk about my family? Like, yeah, come on, bro. It's football.
Just be more respectful of each other. And by the way, the only way that we're going to do that is by modeling it in front of the world to see, right? If we feel like we've been disrespected by somebody, then we should go to that I personally think how everything should always be handled. You should go to that person in private. Hey, look, this happened. What did you mean by this? Were you being disrespectful towards me? Or I took it as disrespect towards me, X, Y, and Z. Let's hash it out behind closed doors. If you don't believe that you can get what you want from behind closed doors, then just be respectful and non-confrontational. But hey, approach that person. I know one thing for me personally is I've always felt that if I can't handle it with you behind closed doors, then it's not worth handling at all. I've always felt like that. But I will say that I also will not be disrespectful. I want to empathize. I'm trying to figure out the right word to say. I will also empathize with anybody who feels like I may have slighted them or disrespected them. And I want to try to correct that. There are some things I think I have no control over, or maybe, hey, look, I could have handled that better. And in the future, I will try to do it better as we move forward. But doing a show every day, Monday through Friday for 3 years almost, sometimes things it just happens. I'm a one-man machine. I can only do so much. And there have been some mornings in the past where it's gotten away. It's gotten away from me. I can admit that. But I try 100% of the time, but 95% of the time I believe that I try to be respectful of other people and their platforms, or when there is disrespect, to approach, hey guys, let's not do that. All right, hey, look, let me bring in somebody else to the conversation, somebody who I do respect, who I understand can be very confrontational in his points, but I have nothing but respect for, and I love him being a part of this community, and I hope he understands that. I don't know if he's coming after me. He might be, but I don't know. But I do love this guy. EM. What's up, EM?
I'm calling Fugazi, goddammit. I'm calling Fugazi on all this bullshit what I'm hearing right now.
I'm all
calling
ear.
Fugazi, goddammit.
All ear, man. All ear. First of all, you know I love you, right?
Oh man. Hey, listen. I'm trolling you, Steven. You know me. You know what I mean by.
I knew. I'm like, if EM had a problem with me, he would call me. I know he's just mad.
I'm trolling you.
Every time I talked, I'm like, maybe he's mad at me and I don't know it, but I don't think he is.
No, bro. No, I'm trolling you. You already know. You know that conversation we had like a year ago about when I dropped that term Fugazi. I'm trolling you, bro. So, but yeah, I hear, man. It's I've been listening to y'all this morning, and I talked to Lewis a lot, and I know the situation that he has going on right now, and has had in the past. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, that people go to these extremes, all over a disagreement.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it really is. My only my only issue is, it's not an issue, but a lot of people. They come up here on these platforms, and I'm not saying anybody specifically. I'm just saying in general. Whatever issue that they have, it always tends to be one-sided. Like, you get people up here that might be on the side of the fence of, they might not, believe into it to be a long-term solution or whatnot, but yet they'll only bring up issues that address, issues that come against what they believe, what their beliefs are, right? They never address everybody. It's always one side. And it goes both ways, to an ears as well as, to a hater, quote unquote, to a haters. So to address this problem, this issue properly, Everybody needs to take responsibility on themselves, no matter what side of the fence you're on. You need to say, look, all of this nonsense needs to stop. Because I sit here on these platforms and listen. I might not be in the chat, I might not be on the panel, but I listen to a lot of y'all. And my bad, Steven.
No, you're
excuse me. And as long as the drama aligns with their narrative, they won't say a word. They won't say a goddamn thing. But yet, when something is contradictory to their pops up, is contradictory to their own personal narrative, that's when they decide to speak up. Everybody needs to take it upon themselves, no matter what side of the fence you're on. It all needs to stop, and it just don't need to. A lot of people, again, they don't want to do that. They don't want to be.
Can I ask you a question, Ian? Because I agree with everything you said. 100, like you just said, no lies. I want to ask you a two-part question about two different things. If you see somebody in the community doing that, should it be called out?
I'm sorry, Stephen. I got distracted. What's that? Can you repeat that for me?
If you see somebody else in the community doing it,
and
you happen to know the person that is doing it, should you, as somebody who, like, if Lewis called somebody out, like, I'll give you a prime example. Von Joe this week on Wednesday went crazy. He went crazy. And my plan was this weekend is to text him and be like, bro, you went crazy this weekend. Now, he just addressed it and was like, hey, man, I was wrong. But I know Von Joe. So I feel like I can go to Von, let it die down a couple of days. I can go to Von Joe. I can talk to him, right? I don't think Von Joe has a problem with me calling him out about that. Like, he just addressed it. So, but he's my boy, right? I would have said it behind closed doors and we would have left it at that. Do you think you're affiliated with somebody or know somebody that it's on a person, a friend, to say, hey, man, I think you're wrong about this, or you shouldn't have gone about this way. Now, you can't change how a person's going to react or do what they're going to do. But do you think that there should be a conversation between people that know each other?
Well, absolutely, even more so. But everybody, if you all on the panel and you see somebody in the chat, and they're out here, attacking, again, no matter what side of the fence you on, and they're attacking other people. Again, if we all want to be honest with ourselves, and if you truly want this issue to be, it's never going to go away. It's always going to happen. But if you really want to minimize this issue, in our fan base,
yes.
We all need to, everybody, me included, we need to take responsibility ourselves to say, look, no matter what side of the fence you're on, no matter what your belief is around this player, because a lot of this, the root cause of this issue is centered around this player, right? We can all agree on that. So we all need to, if you truly want to minimize the issue and address it, everybody needs to take it upon ourselves, because you get these platforms, right? And the narrative surrounding that platform might be either way. And again, I'm not calling anybody out, but it's just what it is. They'll sit here and allow that, as long as the narrative is aligned with their own personal feelings about this player, they will not. You get people up here threatening people, talking shit, et cetera, et cetera. We all know that, and they won't say a word.
Now, EM, I will say you have gotten into it with some people in the past, have you not?
I've gotten to it with everybody on both sides. I don't went to war with all of them. You know that.
And I will say that EM clearly, for the record, just said, I need to do better too. He just said that. He literally, those words came out of your mouth. Yep.
Yeah.
I need to do better too.
But see, a lot of what how I move, and again, y'all been listening to me. Y'all know what anybody that's been listening to me long enough, right? I've gone to war with both sides. It don't matter. I don't discriminate. I try to stay down the middle, and I've addressed it all. But in terms of like the extreme, ridicule and extreme when things go to another level, I don't go seeking people. I can say that 100%. I don't go seeking anybody out. I'm always 100% of the time reactionary when you're trying to take things to that level, right? So I can sit up here with a straight face and say that. I don't go looking for trouble and looking for people to do that. It's always reactionary. And again, now that don't make it right. That don't make me right. But my issue,
you
like
said everything I just wanted you to say. Like, I'm good. Like you 100% spot on. You're like, that doesn't make me right for doing it, but that's who I am, and I can admit that's who I am. And when I'm wrong, by the way, every time you've done something on my platform, you have been, hey man, I apologize for doing it in public. I apologize for doing
that. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that, bro. You know,
I haven't liked some of the stuff you've done on my platform towards some, the people that have been up here, but I've also
really.
I'll be real with you, EM. I think you're
damn.
People are not going to like this, but I think you're one of the smartest people in this community.
What, man? That's heartfelt, bro. That's heartfelt, man.
I think
That's
you're
cap.
no.
That's cap.
What?
Look, when it comes to football,
yeah, Rashad, goddamn it, hell yeah, you heard the motherfucker. You heard him, goddamn it.
When it comes to football, I believe he's one of the smartest people in this community because he knows his football.
That's what's up. I appreciate that, bro.
Football, I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, okay. You need to stop that foolishness, Rashad. Really, bro.
Hold on.
See, now I'm about to turn up. See, now I'm now we about to go there. Now we about to go there right now. Goddamn it.
Let me say this. I have had a huge problem with EM when he attacks people, and he knows that. And the only reason I'm saying this on a public platform right now is because this is the point of the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've had conversations behind closed doors. I know Lewis and I have talked, about, something that might have happened on the show or vice versa. You and Lewis might have talked about something that have happened on my show. But I know at the end of the day that you know where I stand and what I would like and not like on my platform. And I think 85% of the time you've respected that, but that is a strong 15% when you've just been out there. And I've called you out on it. I've called you out, and I think I have every right to when it happens on my platform.
What do you mean out there? What do you mean out there? 15% of the time. What are you talking about?
You have gone. You know what you've done, EM. You've definitely.
No, I don't, bro. I mean,
you talking about when he tried to set up boxing matches, or when he's offering to buy tickets.
Y'all have heard me do that? I don't do it, really. I've done that. Read me. Me? Oh, okay. All right. Hey. Listen, man.
I mean, I'm all for it, EM. I'm not Stephen D. I'm with it. I love a good show.
And by the way, so maybe I have. So somebody said EM's threatened people on your show. EM has reacted and threatened people on the show, and it's not right. And I've called him out on it. But EM's a grown ass man. What am I going to do now?
Right. And also Stephen D.
Hold on, EM. Before you respond, what I will also say is clearly in my tweet last night. I said, I apologize if my platform is perpetuated in any of this thing, and we need to do better. And I just said this morning, maybe I need to get more strict and kicking people off when they do that. And it's nothing personal, but if that happens,
but Stephen, you and I have had this conversation, right? Yeah. Again, it's all one-sided. See this idiot in the chat right now. He's a hater of mine, right?
Don't call him an idiot. No idiot.
You're right. My bad. My bad. What
we're talking about.
My bad. You got to. Okay. You're right. My bad.
It's a prime example. This is where you would say, this person who who clearly doesn't like me and I don't get along with them does, and now go on and say your piece.
You're right. My bad. But I've got my haters. We all know that in this fan base, right? And he's clearly one of them. Him. And
I don't know him from Adam and Eve, and I appreciate that he watches my show.
We can't call people,
but again, he's calling out one side. Again, when people when I'm up on this channel on any platform, and I'm delivering my message, and again, people might not agree with it. It's contradictory to their narrative. Again, they start with the ridicule, and y'all always wait to see me react, right, before y'all say anything. But y'all never say nothing to the idiots in the chat when they start that nonsense. Again, it goes. You can't have it either way. If you truly want to be honest with yourself, if we want to be honest with ourselves and address the issue, that it needs to stop on all accounts, not just when it's one-sided.
Okay, that's fair. And by the way, that's fair. What I will tell you, and this has nothing to do towards EM. If anybody is, I will correct you. And if you,
See, I'm gonna put you to the test right now, Stephen D. If you truly about that, you talking when people up here being disrespectful, and you say, you know what, I need to remove them, I need to block, get them up out of here.
No. So, time out.
Look
What
at the idiot in the chat now. Look at what he put in the chat now.
Hold up.
I'm calling you. I'm putting you to the test right now. Get him up out of here. Pack him up. Pack his ass up and get him up out of here.
EM. The chat is its Lewis. Explain. The chat is its own world. You are going to have people in the chat. But when people are on the platform talking to each other, or you're talking about somebody in the chat, just be respectful towards them. If they're not respectful towards you, ignore them. You are. If I sat here, EM, and truly blocked every single person that said something about you, Big O, Reason, TD, Doug,
and then we'll have no subscribers.
Blocking for days. For days.
Hey man, well, I'm using you. You said you want you act like you said you lost sleep over this issue last night. So if you really want to address it,
I am. So so here's the thing. This is where we might view it just a little bit differently, right? When I say being disrespectful, I'm talking. If you want to go in the chat and talk to somebody, I'd rather you guys not name call. And if it starts getting out of hand, we have a couple of people that will definitely put a stop to it and time it out. What I will say is, on the platform, when you're talking about somebody, just be like, hey, man, this person in the chat said this. I don't agree with them. He's a hater. So haters being called one thing. If they're talking about you and they're being disrespectful, then they're not worth your time. No ways, EM. They're not.
No, absolutely. And first off, I want to be very, very clear here. I'm with it all. I'm with it all.
By the way, I want to say this too. Who the hell am I, right? Like, I'm nobody. If you're hearing me, it's because you respect me. If you're not hearing me, then you don't respect me, and that's fine too. Like, we're all grown men here. We all have a way to go about it.
Right.
I want my platform to be run. Now, what I will tell you is I'm not going to sit here and have a block session for everybody who says something.
I hear you. Well, and that's fine. Listen, man, you're a grown man. This is your platform, Stephen D. I would never, ever attempt to try to tell anybody how to run your platform. It is your baby. It is your, it's your platform. But again, I'm just using your words. I'm listening to y'all this morning. I'm listening to you specifically.
I think you're here. I think you're interpreting it a different way. And by the way, I think it's a very small difference. I think you're saying, look, you're saying this. I'm saying, look, I can only control what I can control. I can control the people on the platform. I can't control however many people are in the chat. I just can't do it. I've tried it before. It just doesn't work. That's why I try to have moderators. If the moderators think that it's out of hand, then so be it.
I hear you. I don't know. Maybe I hear you. Maybe just me personally. I'm just wired different. Like if it was me, my platform, if I had if and when the platform comes up, I'm not going to tolerate none of that, bro. It'll be an environment of that where everybody has a voice. There will be no gatekeeping. There will be no, there'll be none of that, even in the chat or on the panel. I'm going to get rid of all of them. I'm going to get rid of all of them because there's no place.
When your channel drop, it will be.
EM, I'll say this. I believe that my channel does that. If you don't see it differently, that's fair. I don't think that you don't see it like that. I'm just saying in general, if people don't see it like that, then that's their prerogative. But I think that maybe you will do so. Maybe you would think that you do that, but you have some modifications that I wouldn't necessarily have, right? Maybe you wouldn't time people out. Maybe you wouldn't ban people, and that's fine, right? I believe that 95% of that is all done in fun and all done in jest. I think there is 5% that definitely say, I want nothing to do with this person on the panel, and he's out of here, right?
And see, look at Pete's comment. Look at Pete's comment. Look at the super chat. Talk about two in there. So again, no, bro. It goes both ways, bro. Both of them. The two extremists. No matter what I label them. I coin that phrase, two extremists. Right. No matter what side of the fence you on, they're all toxic as fuck, and they don't need.
Where's your man? Come on,
my bad, bro. They're all toxic as you know what, and they don't. They shouldn't have a voice in this community, bro.
And to be fair, I think I have, and Lewis and Rashad, please correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I am, but I think that my platform, for the most, I tried to have everybody to the same set of rules, but I also know that I have a personal relationship with certain people, And I know when EM is being EM, and I know when EM is out of hand, and I know when Von Joe is being Von Joe, and I know when Von Joe is like Spawn Joe, right? And so I can differentiate between the two. So I try to point that out when I hear it. And I also think that people's personalities play into a part. EM, you have a very aggressive personality. You can admit that, right?
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yep. And so, but I appreciate that about you, and I love you for that. But there are some people that just don't like it and don't want to take it.
And that's understandable. That's fine. And again, I'm not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Just like I'm not for everybody, and Reason's not for everybody, and TD's
Absolutely.
not for everybody,
Absolutely.
and Dougley's not for everybody. There is always somebody in the community that you, and I clearly said that. I said in the tweet last night, I said, look, man, I was like, there are content creators, podcasters, YouTubers, and streamers. And as a fan and consumer of all these platforms, I believe that there is someone for everyone. You can find somebody that placates to your personality. You can find somebody that placates to your narrative. You can find somebody that placates to what you want to hear on a day-on, day-out basis. What I believe, this is my opinion, is that I think that my show, I allow everybody the opportunity to come up. If you start being disrespectful, I'm going to call you out on it. If you keep on being disrespectful, I'm going to be like, hey, man, look. And 3 strikes, I feel like it's a 3 strikes you're out rule, but you're not gone forever. Come back the next day if you want to. If somebody times you out for 10 minutes, come back in 10 minutes. If somebody times you out for the day, you could pay yourself to come back on, or I'll see you tomorrow. Whatever it is, I do feel like my channel is dedicated. It's just the people that happen to watch and consume right now my content are these people. Right. But ultimately, I do feel that over the past almost 3 years, my content has grown tremendously. I'm not doing bad. No, I'm enjoying the content of what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying my show evolving and moving. And as long as that happens, I think, and I also think that when I've talked to other content creators, I've had nothing but respect for them. I'm not saying it's always been reciprocated back to me, but I've had nothing but respect for them.
I don't know, Steven. Listen. Since we're all up here being transparent, we're getting it, we're putting it all out on the table right now. Right. I have to admit, there was an issue that I kind of had with you here recently, as of recent. And I thought about reaching out to you.
I mean, I'm always, how I feel. Let's talk behind closed doors before we do, but it's on a public platform. I have no problem talking about it. I don't want to necessarily, I don't want to be disrespectful, but you can ask 100%. I'm all ear.
Well, you know what? Well, let's let the chat decide. Y'all drop them. Y'all drop them. How bad?
No.
Let the chat decide. Fate, goddammit.
EM, this isn't a content thing. The whole point of my show today was to try to have a conversation about some of this stuff. So if there's as good a time as any, let's do it now.
All right, cool. Well, no, you know what? Respectfully, I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait to address you privately before. No, that's not. I'm not gonna make that shouldn't be available for public consumption. We'll wait. We'll wait. Out of respect to you. Out of respect to you.
I respect that because I think I've always carried myself in that way. I think I've always carried myself that way too. That's just my opinion.
So yeah, but it's cool, and I get it. In a lot of it's just unfortunate that and you can't necessarily put the blame on Tua. I think it's just the nature surrounding that quarterback position.
I will say he's been the most polarizing player in the. I won't say the history of sports, but definitely this fan base.
Yeah, I will say that, but a lot of that was carried over from even the Josh Rosen experiment. Because we all remember how divided the fan base was surrounding that player, and it just kind of carried over. It just kind of carried over to Tua, and Tua just took it to another level. I get that, but it's just unfortunate that people are so in their feelings around the player. I just don't understand that grown people are moving like that, bro. If I can't understand that for the life of me,
you know why? You know why it's going on.
Why? No. Put a name on it, Rashad. Put a name on it. What?
It's 2 extremists out there with their YouTube pages. One is very pro Tua, one is very against Tua. and it's the battle of of their followers. That's all that
No,
is.
no, Rashad, put a damn name on it.
Well, look, all right, so
Who are these
hold on,
individuals?
hold on.
Who and what are these platforms? What platforms are you referencing right now?
I will elaborate to this. Okay, I had a conversation with Doug Lee Durong the other night. We were on the phone.
I got 2 minutes to get my hair cut. I hear you.
No, don't run, Rashad. I want to hear names, bro.
I'm going to throw this up there.
I want them damn names. Go ahead,
I got
Steve.
names, I put them in the chat.
Man, can I talk?
Go ahead, Steve.
Steven wants to talk.
So Doug Lee and I were talking, and Doug Lee is always like, man, I get my listeners that hate TD and not all of them, but some of TD's listeners hate Doug, right? And they always want them to not like each other, right? They want them to not be respectful of each other, right? And so Rashad's last point is it's some of the fans within those fan bases that cause 90% of the drama. I believe that 100%, which is why, to Lewis's point, my post last night was catered more towards the content creators than it was the fans, but there definitely needs to be a separate forum and a separate post to address how fans act towards each other, whether that be public platforms or whatever, right?
Yes, Steven.
Now,
hang on. To hop on that real quick before you continue.
Okay.
Yeah, you got fans. I've had conversations with people that have some of the more larger platforms in our community, bro. I've had multiple conversations over the years. Mm-hmm. These fans, they run back and forth. Like they'll hear something on one platform and boom, they go and hit the other guy up. Hey, so-and-so said this about you, and vice versa.
You know, everything I've ever been told has come from a fan. It's never come from another content creator. It's come from
absolutely.
Dude, a fan sent me. And by the way, I appreciate it. I do.
It's always the fans. That's why I brought up
the fans.
It's
you know,
the fans. It is the fans.
But I will say this. So David said it's 100% the content creators are the ones that fall. Here's what I'll say to that, David. Okay. I think there's some truth in that, but so we all like different content creators for different reasons, but mostly because maybe their personality, right? How they go about their day or how they go about their content, right? Like TD is very aggressive, in your face, and yelling into the mic. Doug Lee's very reserved, uploads videos, tries to bring in, numbers. Reason has like 3 or 4 different podcasts and tries to bring in 3 or 4 different people in them, and then also does his own thing. I think he's very well-rounded and very well diverse in what he brings into the table from a standpoint. You don't ever see me do game film. I'm 100% like, I feel like my stuff, I want to give you my theories, my viewpoints, but most of my content, I want to interact with the fan and what the fan thinks about my idea and how crazy I am or how much they think. Like, that's what I enjoy about it. I love the fan interaction with it. And maybe I'm viewing that differently for everybody, but that's how I view each person. But some people are more aggressive than others, but that's their personality. That's how they chose to go about it. But it's the fans that view them that maybe their personalities align with them, but then they take it overboard because they think that's how it needs to be 24/7. That's not. That's just how they do their content. Sometimes you put on a face to put in good content.
Steven, see, this is what I'm talking about. Listen, I want to address a comment, if I may, real quick, Steven. Just one, maybe two.
No name calling.
No, but I got this guy in the chat, right? Money Mitch. Is that Money Mitch? I'm sorry. Man. Okay, I can't see. I'm outside. The sun is shining on me right now. My bad. Look at it. At EM, you do that run and tell shit, bro. Look at this comment, though. Look at this comment, Steven. EM, you do that run and tell shit, bro, to what the fuck? First off, I don't have to do that. I don't. Anybody that knows me personally, you got one dude that's sitting right next to you.
But Ian, if you don't do that,
hang on, Stephen D. Let me address this.
Him if you don't do it, he's not even worth.
No. Hang on. You got a man that's sitting right here.
Let me say it, EM. Let me say it.
Go ahead.
I'll come out and say it right now. I've told EM things on a personal level that I've never heard. And again, I see the same chat. Reason has never said anything that I've said to EM personally. So for people to come out and say EM is running to Reason to that's like his ears, right, on the streets. No, it's not, because I've said plenty of things to EM about certain people within the community, and no names.
That EM would have 100%. Would have
and
a million opportunities to say it to them and never done it.
And Lou,
multiple. But
Lou,
EM's never done that. So
Lou, you privy.
And by the way, to be fair, Lewis, you can say my experience with EM is that's never been the case.
Hang on, I'm addressing that. I'm addressing that. Hang on, Lou. You know, Lou is privy to those back channel conversations that we've had. Lou, 9 times out of 10, when you've been on multiple conversations with me as well as other individuals with these larger platforms, how does the scenario play out? Do they not, you know, do they not initiate the conversation on things about going on in this community on both sides? Do they not do that?
Absolutely.
So they come and tell me shit. It ain't the other way around, bro. And I'm not saying I'm important. I'm some important figure in this community, but that's how it works, bro. I don't move like that in the community, bro. I ain't even on the internet like that anymore for the most part. So, but nah, bro, I don't move like that. And when I see people that do move like that, you know, they got big mouths and they like to go stir and sow division in the community between. Nah, I don't do that. 100%. I don't move and I don't fool with people like that.
What I will say, okay, let me add this in there. For example, I have 2 people that I'm really good friends with that do not like each other. Within the content creator space, not necessarily YouTubers, in the content creator space. They just don't like each other. But I have all the respect and love in the world for both of them, and I talk to both of them.
Who is that? Who is that? Put a name on it.
I'm not. I hate that saying because no. But the point I'm trying. But the
put
point
a name on it, Steven.
The point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make a point here in the fact that, when I'm having a conversation with them, I try to, hey man, just so you know, this guy's a really good guy. He's great, right? And vice versa to the other person. Hey man, this person, I know you don't like what he has to say or what the content he puts out, but just know behind closed doors, he's a good man. He's really like, and that for me has always been tough because I can admit that I don't like confrontation, but I also understand some people are just wired a little bit differently. Like I believe that EM, and I love you, you would in a minute be ready to throw down if somebody like did anything to you disrespectful in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I would look for not the way to get out, but just be like, is it worth my time to even deal with this? I don't think that makes me better than EM. It's just we just have different personalities in the way we would go about doing things. I am not a fighter. I'm a lover. I don't like confrontation. I want to, but I will admit that I do enjoy a really good, lively debate. I do enjoy people going at it about people's opinions.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with a healthy level of that. But when you, and again, I've engaged in it in you know, in these conversations as well. But when you are extremely disrespectful, you're talking about people's wives, you're talking about people's families, kids.
That is
talking gunplay, all of these things like this, bro. That, I mean, again, that's taking things to a whole nother level. And I've engaged.
I can admit, I have one person in the back I want to bring on with us. I can also admit that when it comes to the disrespect, I do wish that some people that might be friends with other people say, hey man, can you be a little bit less confrontational? I mean, you're going to do you. I'm just telling you as a friend, this is how
Steven,
it might come off.
And Steven, I've done that, bro. I have Lewis, please let these fools know. Have I not done that with 2 of the biggest Dolphin, you know, platforms, Dolphin-centric platforms of this community?
By the way, they're going to do what they're going to do
over the last 2 years to try to be, you know, a mediator between the two, try to bring peace to the platforms. Lou, have you not been privy to those conversations, my friend? And I hate to keep putting you on the spot, but you plugged in like that, you know.
Absolutely, you have. I've been in the back channels, and you have tried to bring content creators together. I've been there. I've seen it. So yeah.
So
let me bring in Chris. What's up, Cap? What's up, man?
What's happening? I just want to make sure I gotta come up here and stop Ian from capping all up in this right now. This is enough. I'm not gonna let him get away with it like you guys are. Lewis over here
God, damn, what, bro? It's always Ian's fault, bro. It's always Ian's fault.
So. Ian out here starting fires, causing forest fires, and letting the community burn, and then runs away with a gasoline in his hand, saying, "I don't know what happened." Get up out of here. We know how you do.
Yeah, damn, man. So, hey, Cap, salute, man. Salute to you, man. I hope everything's good, bro.
I'm good. Yeah, I see the. I've only been made aware of recently. I guess there's a big old Twitterverse thing going on right now with a couple of people out there. I see how everybody gets in their feelings. And I'm no one to act like I don't partake. I do it because I laugh at people because I think it's funny. Everybody try to act hard and stuff like that.
That's your personality, and that's part of the brand that you give off, not in a negative way. It's just you enjoy that, right? And you can
say it's a negative thing. It's all good, Stephen D. I'm not sensitive like the rest of them around here. I'm not sensitive.
I don't believe that there's malice to what you put out with that. I believe that you do it in the jest of let's enjoy the content. If there's malice, it's because they're giving it to you, maybe, and that's your personality. But in general, you just want to have fun and talk football. That's all you want to do.
We like to say something around here is that we err on the side of comedy. If you're taking it so for reals that you're gonna be, trying to meet up with somebody, then I'll be your Huckleberry. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, he ran away. He knew I was gonna come up here and spit facts and the truth, and it scared him. And he knew what he was doing. So I'm not gonna let him get away with that.
You hear that,
Oh, there he is.
Damn! Oh, I must have missed something. Please, what happened? What's that?
I said you ran away because I was gonna come up here and spit facts and the truth, and you didn't want to be here caught in a lie.
Damn.
By the way, here's the funny part. If y'all knew how we talk to each other behind closed doors.
My God! If they whine, bro, if they're whining about how we address each other publicly, they don't need to be privy to them private conversations. Trust me.
No, but what the reason and again, just to reiterate, the reason I made the post last night was because I believe there's multiple people in the community, not any one person, not any one particular rivalry. There are multiple people within the community, and I'm just kind of sick of seeing it. And I think that I've obviously perpetuated some of it with Wildin' Out Wednesday. I can admit that, but I want to hold myself to a higher standard as well as to my peers to a higher standard of
not me. Do not expect me to be held to that standard. You can take that right off me right now. Don't be putting no standards on me and my guys. We're gonna rock it in the dirt and filth with the rest of the
well, that's not what we do here at Miami Sports Music. What I want is, and my first part of my thing was, man, beat writers and columnists for years, I know for a fact, have not liked each other, but you've never seen them publicly go at each other. But content creators, God, man, we are straight.
It is, bro.
It's brutal. And
listen, it's about four big dogs in that backyard, and all of them are fighting. Well, not necessarily fighting over the one bone, but it's like, when you got.
But Ian, let me ask you something. When you see the beat writers going out and covering the games the night before, they always take a picture. They're all out to eat together, hanging out, right? Now, do you think that they're vying for the same people reading those articles or vying for their content?
Yeah. It's competition. If you're in the same field,
competition is one thing, but
right.
I don't care who's the best. I want to be respected. I could care less if I'm fifth best, sixth best, first best. I just want to be respected in the community, and I think I have that.
And Stephen D, that's fine. You're perfectly well in your rights to have that type of mindset. But you, on the other hand, you know, some people are just competitive by nature. Human beings are just competitive by nature. And I don't get mad at an individual that is highly competitive and wants to be the best. They want to put out the best content out there. I don't have a problem with either way, you know?
I do have a problem when people put down other platforms. That I do have a problem with, I could admit. Because I don't think I've ever once put down another platform publicly.
So I think,
ever,
Steven, I think that's I agree with you. It's kind of a dirty shot every now and again, especially when like such a real big platform goes at like a.
Well, you were about to say something and you got cut off. That Tua service, better watch out, man. It breaks down all the time.
Yeah, that nonsense. See that? See when you out here spewing nonsense, where it gets you? Yeah, got him again. But yeah, I agree with Cap. I agree with all. You know, it just go again, man. I think no matter how you feel in your approach to your content and your brand, you know, that's up to that individual. I don't have an issue either way. Now, I do agree. You should. I don't think you shouldn't be out here initiating, and I use the word initiating, right? Drama and you know, issues with people. Now, if somebody comes at you, you're well within your rights to defend yourself how you see fit.
I would say that there have been plenty of times that people have not initiated it, and there have been people within the community have still attacked, and that I have a problem with.
Well, Stephen, who? Put a name on that. I really would like to know who you're referencing right now.
That's not my MO. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that game.
I've heard you put names on. You've been in this same scenario before in the past, and I've heard you put a name on it. So, goddamn it, I want to know who you're talking about. If we are trying to move forward,
move forward with you behind private door conversations, but I will not do it on a public platform because I don't see the need for it in any way, shape, or form.
I guess I'm wired a little different. I guess. I hear you.
By the way, EM, there's nothing wrong with that. We are different. We are wired different. You and I are wired different. But I think there's a respect level between the two of us too. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. First off, I respect all content creators, no matter who you are. There's a healthy level of respect with it. Now, I might not fuck with. I'm sorry. I might not, engage with you consistently or have a personal relationship with you, whoever. But I respect everybody because I know the work that actually have to put in if you want to put out quality content. I know firsthand. So
you and Lewis talk all the time, right?
Absolutely.
And I know that. And I know because Lewis and I talk a lot too, but you and I don't talk that much. But when we do, I feel like there's always a level of respect to it. So you don't have to talk to somebody every day to have a level.
Absolutely.
Sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call.
I don't know about that. You were about to get a little messy, I think. And that
listen, I am full of messy. Okay, listen, I get it. Listen, respect amongst platforms, respect and all that stuff. That's cool and all. We could be hands across America and all hold hands. That's cool. I'm glad. I get it. That's your spread kindness nature, Stephen, and it's probably the most.
That's me. That's my personality, man.
And I'm good with it too. I'm a friendly guy. I just, you know what I got a problem with? All these people that talk tough, boy. And none of them bust a grape. They're just a bunch of weaklings, and they out here internet tough boys.
Jay-Z line out there wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Sorry.
Yeah. Again, none of them are. They're just not that way, and you can tell and know. You know why? Because people who are that way don't talk or act like that. That's it.
Lewis is the glue of the community. You might be onto something there. Lewis does know everything.
Yeah. Lewis is like the nomad.
Lewis is 6 degrees of separation for the entire Dolphin community.
Hey, man, I'm outside.
Twitter, YouTubers, TikTokers, everybody. I love it.
But yeah, there's a lot of people, and then they go in, and you know what it is too. It's like once they smell blood, they don't let up, and they just keep on people. And you can see it, like especially on like Twitter, when like someone's just a fan out there. Maybe they write an article, maybe they got a small little YouTube channel that they just earned like 100 subscribers. And these guys, as someone who's recently gotten into it, when I first came in, it was wave after wave of these people looking to run you up out of here, trying to defeat you, trying to put that pelt on the wall. And
by the way, that to EM's point, that's the problem I have with the competitiveness, right? Like you can be competitive and still have respect for each other. But to like like for example, right? Like when you're up on an opponent by 3 or 4 touchdowns, do you keep on throwing it and scoring more touchdowns, or do you run the ball? Now, Belichick, you're going to keep on throwing the ball and keep on scoring as many points as you can, right? But I don't believe this is a football game. This is a world where I believe we might not need each other, but it's always good to be nice to each other, because that crossover between the communities, I think fans want to see sometimes. Just like you want to see it in your favorite TV shows.
You know what, Steven? You know what, Steven? An idea just popped in my head.
I'm all ears.
Obviously, this is a pressing issue in our community. Listen, man, you got Cap up here, you got the gate, you got your platform, you got Reasons, you got Douglas, you got TDs, you got a lot Myth Fans app, which happens to be the #1 morning Miami Dolphin podcast on YouTube, by the way. And you got a lot of platforms. If this is and obviously it is a pressing issue. It might be more pressing to others or less pressing to others, whatever. But this is a conversation that needs to be had, maybe publicly. I'm sure the subscriber bases would eat that up. Maybe we all need to come together, in this community on a neutral platform, on somebody's platform. I don't know who it is. That'll be, that'll be decided by at a later date. But maybe, all of the people in the community with on platforms and off that, maybe we all just need to come together on a neutral site, bro, and just hash out a lot of differences, man. What do you think about that?
So here's what I think about that. I think 100%.
I say we hold on. If I may, real quick, let's all meet up and throw a rumble and see who comes out. That's how this needs to go.
Hell yeah! You know
I am
me.
There, bro. I'm waiting on that plane ticket, Ian. I'm waiting.
I'm going to be the announcer because I do not want to rumble. All right, I'm already getting myself out of there. Now, what I will tell you is this, Ian. I am okay with that, and I'm 100% on board with that. But I do not believe that other people want to have that conversation within the community.
Listen, I don't think it's too. I know Rashad said it's too late. No, it's never.
Never
listen,
too late.
No blood has been shed yet. No blood has been shed.
Let me ask you a question. Be honest with me. Do you think there are certain people within this community that would change the way that they go about doing their day in, day out business?
You're asking me that question. You're asking me that question, but I can't give you a legitimate answer because I don't know who you're referencing right now. If you tell me who you're talking about, I can give you a better assessment.
Put a name
I can give you I can better answer your question, Stephen D.
No, I'm not doing that.
Why not? Why not? You're not slandering anybody. You're not slandering anybody.
Not calling people out.
And I really would like to know who you're talking, because this shit has me puzzled right now. I mean, really, I really would like to know who you're talking about.
I got a phone call. I'll put a name on it. What did he say?
Go ahead, Steve.
I said, do you think that there are certain people within this community that if we decided to do that they would seriously listen, and if they understood that they would change how they go about their day in, day out, how they view other people or talk about other people, or the respect within the community, which I think there's 2 or 3 people within this community that just don't respect other people in this community at all.
See, I really would like to know who you're talking about. I really would. And I can better assess your question and give you a more definitive answer, bro. If you tell me who.
My question is just be in general, because I'm sure 2 or 3 people in the community that you don't.
I don't know anybody. Hey, man,
you don't know anybody.
I'm a fan like y'all. I'm a subscriber, just like everybody else in the chat. I'm not a big dog like you gentlemen are with these massive platforms. I'm not.
I don't have a massive platform.
Stephen, if I can have the floor for a minute, and if you allow me to put a name on it, I have no problem.
You are not speaking for me, sir. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. There you go.
For yourself.
This is not Miami sport. This has nothing to do with Miami sports music. Stephen D does not control what I say or nothing. But I'm on this platform. I'll be honest. When we're talking about this idea, right? You got 2 of the Friends Tailgate guys up here. They're showing their end. Stephen D's up here, they're in. In my opinion, and I could be wrong, Steven, if I come out with the wrong name and
I'm not saying anything. I'm just shutting up.
You don't have to say
Quit
nothing.
being
Go ahead,
scared,
Lou.
Steven.
It
Quit being
sound-
scared, Steven.
Hold up,
Go ahead.
real quick, Lewis. I want you to keep going. It has nothing to do with being scared. It has to do with being respectful on the platform. Respectful.
I would say that I think Dougie would be available. Doug would come in. I would say the TD would probably come in. I think it's reason. And, again, shout out to the homie. I have no ill will towards that man. I'm not calling him out. I'm just saying for the sake of this conversation, I believe that reason wouldn't probably be willing to have that conversation. So there you go. That's the name that I'm gonna say that it is.
Now,
and again, there's no shot.
Capital life respect is not a two-way street. It should be, but it isn't. But I'm always going to give that respect, even if people don't respect me. Reason.
So now
afterlife. So
now I gotta somewhat disagree. Now since the name Reason has been dropped, we all know my relationship with Reason. I fuck with Reason. We know that to the fullest. That's my dog. We know that, right? Yeah. However, Reason and I have had disagreements. Just because you're a friend of mine, this applies to any people that I'm actually have a personal relationship with. Lou, Cap, I love both of them gentlemen, but we've had disagreements. Several over the course of our. We've gotten to know each other privately.
Disagreements I won. You can tell them. Go ahead.
So, with Reason specifically, if that's the gentleman you're referencing, Stephen D. Right.
There's three people I'm referencing.
Okay. So I'm not going to attempt to speak for another grown man. However, I will say this. I got to somewhat offer just a little pushback on Lou. I think Reason. I think initially when if the idea is if the idea is brought up to him, he might initially have a response. Because again, you got to understand. And I know the perception of Reason. I know the perception of me. Like I said, I'm not for everybody. Cap might not be for everybody. Is not for everyone. So I understand the perception in the community that surrounds Reason a lot. But I know him more on a personal level, and I can vouch for a lot of the man, not Reason, the content creator or the YouTube person, but the man. And we've had our issues, and we're going to continue to have issues in the future. We've had our issues in the past. However, fundamentally, Reason is a good dude. Lou can attest to that. We've all had conversations, bro, multiple. Right?
And I would never say anything other than that because I don't know him well enough to say that, right? So I just want to throw that out there too.
But a lot of how Reason moves, and hang on one second, Lou, real quick. A lot of how he moves in his approach to people that are not inside his circle, you just got to have a better understanding of the man fundamentally, right? Why he's so territorial and why he's so withdrawn from the majority of the community, like as other people, as Steven, as Cap, as Lou, myself as well.
Because I would like
no,
hold on. No, I want elaboration.
Well, no, I thought you meant collaborate, but I don't think people have to
what
collaborate.
EM is saying.
I thought you said collaborate.
What do you mean reasons why?
What do you mean? What's that, Cap?
You said there's reasons why he moves this way. I want to know what you're referring to.
Right. Well, I don't want to get into I don't want to get too on a personal level about him. I don't want to put that. That's his own personal situation. I'm talking about fundamentally as a person, as a man, which explains why he's a lot more distant than everyone else.
Again. Okay, so personal levels, I got that, but we're talking about content creators. Ain't none of this is supposed to be personal. Why are other people being judged on his personal things for stuff in the purview? Explain that.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is why and again, I'm just talking primarily from an interaction,
personal experience with your interaction with him.
Exact. I'm talking just how it's just not that's just how he is in everyday life for the most part. Based off and again, a lot of issues that I've gone through in my life influences how I interact and move in the world, right? So all I'm saying is in terms of why he chooses to distance himself and he keeps a tight circle around him is based off the issues that have had. And again, we've all been there, right? But since we're talking about this specific conversation about the interaction with the other content creators, I'm giving you somewhat of an explanation as to why. It's not necessarily nothing personal. Now, he might have a personal feeling about some people in this community. He might. I'm not here to speak for another grown man.
That's his right to. Like
absolutely.
But where I think, and to go back to your original question, EM, you asked, "Hey, should we do this on a third party platform where we can all get up there and go?" And my comment,
I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna tell you right now, goddammit. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, my comment back to you was, if we did this, which I'm all for, some of the people, and again, it's not it is not just one person. It is 2 or 3, and I'm telling you all this. Y'all can say no. You're just no. I have no reason. It is 2 to 3 people that I think that conversation would do absolutely nothing to. That is how I'm viewing it. But I could be wrong, and I want to be wrong.
You're never gonna know. You're never gonna know till everybody pull up and we actually had a conversation. We're never gonna know until that happens, Stephen D. I'm gonna tell you right now, though.
If you're willing to put it together, count me in, and I'm in on it.
I'm telling you right now, it's coming. I'm gonna put it. It's coming. I'm telling you now, and I'm calling everybody to the table. God damn it, everybody, the who's who of Dolphin community. I'm calling everybody. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of just give me a little more time to put that together, because it's schedules and people have lives. We all have families and whatnot. So
it might be a while, but know that football season doesn't start really till mid-July. So
yeah,
mid-July to get it done. And EM, you're in charge of putting it together, figuring it out. And
if it doesn't get put together, EM, we're coming after you. It's you that's preventing all of this from happening. You're gatekeeping the fan base and creators. It's your fault.
Hold on, Cap. I'm not coming after you, but if it doesn't happen,
don't worry, Steven. I'm going after him for you. Don't worry, buddy.
I wouldn't come after you, but then I would know.
Cap, I don't want no problems, my friend. I love you, bro. I don't want no issues, man. I don't want no problems.
It would tell me that there's not a mutual respect in the community,
and that's fine, Steven. Listen. Listen, let me retract that statement. Okay, I can't control what other grown men do, right? I don't have a platform of my own. When I say that I'm gonna make it happen, I'm gonna try to put that plan in motion. I'm gonna do my part.
If the plan doesn't go into motion, I'm going to take it as there are 2 or 3 people within this community that just don't have respect for other people in the community. Kevin Lee, real quick, with his $20 donation, says, thank you for the donation. Kevin says, "Hey, Steven, going on record, you among TD and Dudley Do Wrong were the first 3 guys I listened to for a few years now. Finn's Tailgate and Cap has come a long way in the last year or so for me, and enjoy their content as well. All are unique in their own way."
I definitely approve that message. Definitely.
Yep.
Salute.
And by the way, I think, and let me tell you, without ranking people, I'm telling you right now, and this is no knock on anybody, the top 3 people in this community, in no particular order, are Dudley Do Wrong, TD, Finn's Talk, and Reason. They are.
Wrong. I'm not in that top 3, Steven. You're wrong.
Not in there. You're not in there, bro. You're not, and neither am I.
Wrong.
Neither am I don't know about
God bless him, boy.
That's cat. That's cat.
I don't know about TD Foolish Talk and Doug. However, I have my own rankings. I have my own personal rankings, and I got to go show the homies some love. Finside, no matter what you think about Reason, the man, he puts out a phenomenal product. He puts out phenomenal content, bro. And I know firsthand the grind. I know the grind that it takes. And so shout out to the gate. Shout out to the gate as well. Cap, Lou, DTA, all of y'all, bro, all y'all boys. Again, no matter what's your flavor of the day, right? They put out a quality content as well, bro. And salute to all of y'all, bro. Because all of y'all, TD, Foolish Talk, Doug, all of y'all. I got respect for all of y'all for the most part.
And let me say this. There is an open invitation to every single content creator to come on this platform as a guest, which as a guest, if we just do a one-on-one as a guest, there's no timeouts, there's no bans, there's none of that. So you have, if every content creator who wants to, hey, Steven, I'd love to do a one-on-one show with you or a one-on-one 30-minute segment.
No, hell no, Steven. You got that timing out policy in place, bro.
Yeah,
hell
I've
no.
been timed
That's
out
some
on
straight
here too.
bullshit too, bro.
I've been timed out here too.
No, hell no. That's some bullshit, bro.
I'm sorry you don't like it. Hey, stop
That's
cussing.
some straight.
I'm sorry you don't like it.
No, bro.
I'm sorry you don't like it.
And that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But no, it ain't gonna be on your platform because you got them rules in place. And you have folks timing folks out every 2 minutes.
Real talk. Just for the record, if you decided to do it, I would abolish that for the day. Like it wouldn't even be in there. It wouldn't. I'm just letting you know. Like I would say, no, this is something that we need to do as a community, and we all need to be able to talk and get out everything. So just know, like I would 100% say that.
My vote is for the Rumble. I think that's the way to work it out. I think we need a Rumble. We need to set it up.
Y'all, I told Cap, you know that retreat is coming, Cap. That retreat is coming. That retreat is coming. And listen,
I'm ready, dog.
Hey, the retreat is coming, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So, yeah, it is what it is.
You already know. I'm ready for the retreat. He said there's gonna be food. I'm hungry.
Can I say this?
What's up, man? We're good.
I don't always like the way you talk to some other people, but I love you as a person, man. And I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I think you are one of the smartest people when it comes to football in this community. You are one of those people that if you say something, I'm going to listen because I think what you have to say counts for something. And I just wanted to let you know I feel that way about you, man.
Hey, man, Steven D, you know we've
that's Cap.
I don't I don't always agree with
what I hope before you finish. What I hope is that you see that that's genuine, because that is my personality, and I hope you see it that way.
Yeah, and Steven D, I got love for you too, bro. I don't always agree with you, and I don't agree with a lot of the focus, the focus of your platform at times, and that's fine. That's okay. Bro, it's nothing wrong with having a healthy level of, disagreement, and no two people are going to see the world the same, bro. So there's no hate. There's no drama. There's none of that. I don't want to put my hands on Steven D, or he don't want to put his hands on me or whatever. There's none of that. I've never harbored those type of feet. Now, there's a few people. Don't get me wrong. I promise you on my mama, when I get eyes on a few people in this community, I'm telling you, it is on and popping. But I'm gonna leave it at that. But Steven D, you are not one of them. You are not one of them, Steven D.
That's
what
don't worry about them.
That is clearly what we're saying. We're trying to get rid of in the community. We're trying to get rid of that.
Well, hey. Bro, it's been, with me and these few individuals who I'm referencing, I'm not going to put a name on it right now. This blood that's been shed, right? From a YouTube, in a Twitter perspective. Yeah. There's blood that's been shed, and there's no going back at that point.
Let me state this. Here's what I think. If you decide to do this on a platform, it should be pre-recorded, shouldn't be live.
No, it's gonna be live, bro. No.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
One way to do it, live and uncut, unfiltered.
No, we doing it live, bro.
Whatever platform it should be whoever has the lowest amount of subscribers, which automatically takes me out of the run. So
looks like I'm the lowest in from what we've been discussing here, unless we're gonna go somewhere else. But I'm willing to host it. I don't care. I won't host it though. So I'll have somebody else.
I'll be more than happy to host. I think I should be the one to host it because I'm just a non-confrontational person, and I think I can.
No, Steven, I ain't trying to hear that. No. No. Since you said that nonsense, I gotta address it. No, sir. If we're being transparent right now, see, I was gonna let sleeping dogs lie, but no, hell no, goddamn it. Listen, no, you take shots. You're confrontational in your own way. Like, again, if I'm going to be specific, right? That tweet you put out, and again, I don't have an issue. Cap can even when Cap and I talked about that when it was dropped, he can tell you 100% with no trolling what my response was. So this is not necessarily coming from me. But when you drop that tweet, right? So hang on. Let me finish.
Can I say
when you drop that tweet, When you dropped that tweet the other day, I think it was deliberate. It was intentional. You knew exactly what you were doing. And again, not that you owe anybody anything, Stephen D. Who you choose to shout out or what, that is your prerogative. But it could be a case can be made that your tweet, when you shouted out everybody, their grandmama and their dogs, right? And you left certain individuals out. I don't have an issue with it. I laughed when I saw it. Cap will tell you, with no trolling, straight up, I got the screenshot of the Texas when me and Cap interacted about this, right?
Lewis
he was
told
cracking
me,
up about it.
Lewis told me, he said, EM does not have a problem with this, just so you know.
He
literally said that.
So some people, and again, and I'm gonna tell you what my response was, right? I've had this conversation with people. How can you sit up, and again, not that you owe anybody anything, but
you were just stating your piece, and I'm listening. Go ahead.
When you sat up there and put that tweet out, and again, you shouted out everybody, their mama, their grandmama, and their dogs, right? But you left a certain and again, you just said that is one of the biggest platforms in the community, one of the top guys in the community, and you purposely left him out. How can you sit up here and put a tweet out like that and not leave that platform out? And again, not to say that you owe Stephen D. I'm not saying that, but again, a case can be made that somebody might take that as, shots are being fired at them.
Okay, so can I rebuttal?
Just saying, absolutely.
Okay. Number one, let me say a few things. Let me cook. Okay. I clearly stated in that tweet that I'm not going to be able. I said, if I forgot you, just know that I love you, and then I tried to go back and get some other people that I did forget down the line. To be perfectly honest, I don't ever see personally you on Twitter, and I tried to find you and I couldn't find you, just so you know.
Again, Stephen D, I don't have
anybody on.
I know you don't. Now,
me personally, I don't have an issue.
There are some individuals that I did purposely leave out, not just one, a couple of them. Again, there's 2 or 3, and I did because I didn't think that, and maybe I didn't think that they would.
They didn't want to be included, Stephen?
They wouldn't benefit from what I'm saying, because every time I've had conversations with those people, they clearly do the opposite on some of their platforms or how they interact with people. So what I was trying to do with that tweet was, to the people that want to listen, to the people that want inclusion to happen, to the people that want to be within the community and just enjoy that everybody has something to offer, that's where that came from. And so, was I wrong? Maybe,
but Stephen, to be fair, okay, go ahead.
Let me get my full thought out, and then you can rebuttal. Maybe I should have included everybody to get the point across that we're all content creators here, and we're all. But my thought process in the moment was, I'm hating that certain people are just being so mean to other people in this community on their shows, on how they interact with people. It bothers the hell out of me, EM. It does. And that's my personal thing, right? That's me. That's something I have to deal with, right? And not everybody's going to sing Kumbaya. Not everybody's going to go look at things the way I look at. Lewis has told me as much, right? We've had multiple conversations, Lewis and I, about stuff. And he's like, Stephen, people just don't look at the world the way you look at it. You're just a nice guy. That's who you are. What I will say is, though, and I think there are some people that it does not matter what Stephen Daniel says, what I say, they're going to choose to look at things differently. So I made that tweet for people that I thought would hear me and appreciate the sentiment of what I was trying to say. I didn't think that there were some people that I just left off because I couldn't find them. There were some people I left off because I couldn't name everybody that should have been included in it. And there was probably 2 or 3 people that, yes, were not included that I did because I just didn't think that they would appreciate the tweet.
And that's fine, Stephen.
And I can admit maybe I was wrong with that, but just understand where I was at in that moment, good, bad, or indifferent.
And that's fine, Stephen. But again, listen, it just, the way the tweet looked,
I know how it looked,
I mean, bro, the who's who of Dolphin community, bro. You and again, hang on, Steven. I'm not. You're not on trial right now with me, bro.
No, I got
I'm
you.
not indicting you. You're not on. You're not
No,
on.
you're not.
An indictment has not been issued, from my perspective. However, when you look at all of those names, I mean, bro, it was like it was a paragraph, bro. I mean, three-page paragraph of the who's who of Dolphins community, right? And again, I'm just telling you how it can be perceived. I'm not saying I had a conversation with anybody. I'm not saying somebody called me and had an issue with it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just telling you the perception of it. A case can be made that you were purposely taken. And again, we know, again, you just sat up here and said that platform is one of the largest one of the top platforms in the community. And you purposely let them out.
Hold on. I just told you my thought process. And I'm not saying that it was the right thought process. I'm just telling you in that moment, there was an emotional connection to it that it made me
But
sad.
you didn't articulate that in the tweet is what my point is. You just left it out. And which caused the negative perception, is in my opinion.
But I will also say, Ian, that at the end of it, I clearly said, if you are not on this tweet, if I have not named you and I forgot you, just know that I appreciate what you're doing and I love you.
And to me, that was like adding salt to the goddamn wound. You just shot somebody and you just pulled right up next to him and had a bottle of salt and you poured it right in the wound, bro. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, ask me this. Do you think I'm a genuine person when I say that? Do you think I'm blowing smoke up somebody's ass by saying that? Because even the people that I might have directly left off, I meant that too. I've clearly said as much on multiple times on my platform, Ian.
All right, Steve. Listen, I'm not here to evaluate you I know that, as a man.
I just want here's what I want from your question.
Steven, just watch out. EM has his can of gasoline. I can tell just by listening to him right now. Just watch out, buddy.
What I want to say is, I want clearly articulated is, there was no malice behind it. It came from a place of deep sadness of how I have viewed some of the people within this community and how I hate it. I just hate it. And that's where it came from, man. And I will also say, EM, to be fair, I have said and I have practiced that if you have a problem with me, to call me up. And if I have a problem with you, I will call you up. And I have called in the past. And I didn't think that it went anywhere. But when I clearly see multiple times, time after time after time of slander, of just public execution of how people do stuff, I'm just not going to stand by and just shut up about it. I'm not going to directly call people out because I'm not confrontational. But what I will do is I will try to practice what I want to see more of, and that is love, kindness, and positivity, because I think there needs to be more of it in this world.
Now, in regards to, let's circle back to the potential show.
Here comes the gas can, Steven.
Let's circle back for a minute. Everybody on here, I think I know the answer, that I'm about to present to you, Stephen D. I know what Cap and Lou's response would be. Now,
so this is a question for me.
Yeah, pretty or anybody that's listening to the individuals to the individuals that will be called to this table, to this sit down, right? And again, you know what? We should put the title of the video in the thumbnail, The Dolphins Sit Down, because that's exactly what this is. We're trying to hash out differences in the community. But anybody knows me, I'm a huge mafia buff, bro. I love anything mafia related. So anyway, the theme of the show is going to be The Dolphins Sit Down, right? So anyway, but this, I want to caution everybody. This applies to Lou. This applies to Cap, you, Steven, even myself. This is not going to be, a cookie cutter, happy-go-lucky, kumbaya type format. It's going to be me, if I have my way, if this does happen. There will be no coming in being, generalizing. There will be no if you have an issue with somebody specifically, I won't
you want it there to be direct. Hey, don't generalize.
It's gonna be up close in your face and as direct as possible. Because I
promise you, EM, if this, as long as, look, this is what I would want from it. That the goal of this situation is to talk about maybe some issues we might have with each other in the community, but overall how we can improve to make the community better, or how we can view each other about the community, and that we're actually going to listen to each other. I will 100% be direct. I will 100% call something out, and I will be direct.
I already have a title for the show if you guys want to hear it.
We'll call it on that.
We'll call it the Dolphins Community Sit Down, Bury the Hatchet, or bury it in each other's skulls.
And by the way, Ian, what I would
I like that, Cap. I like that.
What I would ultimately want from that is there to be a mutual respect for the other people.
Absolutely. And again, the only way you can establish that, and that can be established, is the direct approach. You know what I'm saying? You need to let everybody, like if I got an issue with Lou, I got an issue with Cap, I got an issue with you, I might even tell me and Reza might go at it. We know.
And here's the other thing. I don't want people, the goal of this is not to say, hey, I totally agree with what you're doing now. No. The goal is to walk away from this to say, I still might not agree with how you do your platform.
But I got a level of respect for you as a man.
I got a love and respect for what you're doing. And at minimum, you won't hear me talk about that again.
I think that would be real quick. I got a question. I got a question for anyone who, we're all young, all men on here. So maybe this doesn't apply to the females in the fan base. But, when you're 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, it's always that one kid you get into a scrape with. You guys end up fighting like cats and dogs. Then you all become best friends because the reason you've been fighting the whole time is you're probably more alike than either of you know yet. And that's kind of how I think a lot of it could come to its
100%.
100%. You know what I'm saying? That's why, listen, I agree with you. Let's try to keep it as copacetic as possible. But if it gets ugly, I got
about 5 more minutes and then I got to get out.
If it gets ugly, that's how growth is meant through pain. So
yeah,
you can't find it any other way.
And I agree 100%.
I'm going to reiterate and repeat something I said earlier. I'm not going to hold you accountable, and I'm not going to come after you if this doesn't happen. But what I will say is, because I clearly hear from you that you want to try to make this happen, if this does not come to fruition,
we're blaming you, EM.
No, I'm going to take this as certain people in this community just don't respect other people in this community. I'm going to take it as a clear sign of disrespect.
Facts.
I understand that. I get it. And that's okay, Steven. I understand it. But all I can do is all you can do is try to set it up. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And at least I will know where everybody stands with everybody. Steven, I've already tried. I've been trying for how long, Lou? Really an approximate time frame that I've been trying to put this together. Cap, as well. I've been trying to get but again, it's a lot of other things that come into play, people's schedules and all of that. But I am going to look to, exert more effort into getting this plan in motion that way. Cause I do think it'd be, first off, I know the fan base would eat that show up. That would be an absolute banger of a show. Right. So everybody benefits, right? Everybody can walk away. Hopefully the goal is a mutual respect amongst each other. And again, nobody's asking anybody to become best friends, right? And call each other every day and talk on the phone. No.
I think what needs to be made clear to all parties involved if this happens is the goal of this is to hear everybody out about people's grievances with one another, to not to walk away with a mutual respect of, I will no longer publicly slander you or your platform as long as you reciprocate that back to me.
Right. And
I also want stated that this is content creator to content creator. This isn't, I can't change how people that follow me talk about Big O or talk about Doug or talk about TD or talk about Reason. I can't change that. I can do the best that I can to try to limit it, and I will try to start doing a better job to it, at least to the people that are on the panel. but this is purely content creator to content creator. This has nothing to do with people's following about how they're addressing other content creators.
I have one request of you, Steven, in regards to this particular situation.
Yep.
I ask that, again, the invitation will be extended to all people. You're right. When I say everybody will be called, it's certain people that I do not want on this included in this. And one of them that, is close to you, right? You have shows with them. I think I don't need to name names, right? But you and I well know. Hang on. Hang on. I'm just letting you know what it is. That situation is far gone. There's no coming back from that situation. That needs to be held on another level.
What I will say, EM, is I think there should be one representative from each platform. So no offense to Lewis, Cap represents the Fins tailgate, right?
Lewis ain't taking offense, and he's coming in.
No, hell no. I have whoever I want. I'm putting this together. I have who the hell I want on there. But no.
I think, but time out.
I get it, but I was going to be back there anyway. Ain't nobody's
I have who the hell I want on there, goddamn it.
I just want you to remember the last thing I want is to be like, well, there was 3 people from this person's platform up there. Of course they were going to feel like that. I want there to try to be equal representation. Minimum.
And I get that, but
no
something
up is what you're saying. No,
I don't want there to be any ganging up towards anybody.
Well, I'll say this, because see, I'll be there, and I'm not a content creator, for the most part, not on y'all's level.
But you don't have a channel, but EM, I do look at you as you've done shows with almost everybody in this community.
That is true. I hear you. That is
part
true.
of the content. You're a part of the content creation that is
EM is a wandering
going on
nomad
in this community for
that is true, years. Cap. That is true. That is. I'm homeless in a dolphin from a dolphin community from a YouTube
you're a wandering
perspective.
Nomad. Everyone's
bro.
willing to let you couch surf or even build you a hut.
Absolutely. Wherever I can find rest for that particular night, that's what I do, bro. But Steven is one individual, and you and I both know who I'm talking about.
I don't want you to name
put a name on it.
I don't want you to do that. I want you
goddamn it. I mean, I will.
Not put a name on it. I want you to text me.
I will. I will.
That's not what this is. I don't like.
Okay. All right. Well, all I ask that this individual do not be in, because that situation between some individual, between 2 people that potentially could be brought to the table, that is far gone, bro. That needs to be addressed and handled on a whole nother level, bro.
Well, just know that I don't like calling people out. I think.
Am I hearing a rumble?
But nonetheless, I got to start getting ready to get out of here.
It's on site, Cap. It's on site, bro. It's on site.
I do want to say, EM, there were some people in the back room, and Cap and Lewis, that were some people in the back room that I did leave off because I thought our conversation was going good, and I know that some of those people don't like Cap, and I know that some of those people don't like EM, but this was not what this show was for.
But they
and I'm
all
not
like Lewis. Is that what you're saying?
Everybody loves me and Lewis, but but I was not bringing them on because I didn't want the show to get into that.
What? Somebody that don't like me? Bring them on.
No,
bring them on.
I'm not doing that. But just know that if you're in the back, there's 3 people that are in the back room, and I'm not bringing you on. I love you, but I wasn't bringing you on because I didn't want the conversation to escalate into something else. I wanted to try to keep to where it was at. I didn't want any drama to kind of pop off. And I thought that this was a very productive conversation. And
I agree with you, Steven.
That way. So just
keep
know
those haters out of here, Steven.
No, they're not haters. Just know I love them. The people that were in the back. If you feel some type of way I didn't bring you up, I apologize. Just know that I love you. That's all I'm going to say.
And you don't matter in this community. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, bro. I'm trolling. I'm trolling. I'm trolling.
All right. So real quick, let me do let's start out with final thoughts of the day. EM, you go first. Final thought.
Gentlemen, listen, I extended my break, bro, to come up here and dialogue with you gentlemen. And I got to admit, bro, this was a very, very refreshing experience for me, bro. It really was, to come up here and dialogue with all of y'all, man. Y'all, Lou, Cap, Steven, even Steven D. Y'all know how I feel about all you guys as individuals. Can y'all hear? What's that?
No, I said,
am I
evil
chopping up?
No,
Yeah,
I was
Stephen D. Yeah, bro. So I'm really trying, and I've been trying to get this because again, I'm with you, Stephen D. In terms of now, I might not be because looking at your facial expression, your body language about this particular issue we've been talking about.
Yep.
It's really, I can tell it's really weighing on your heart, bro.
Yeah,
now.
okay.
I'm not there yet. It bothers me to some degree, but again, I'm not losing sleep over this issue. But
I wasn't losing sleep, but I love, I'm too nice, and I know that. So that's just me. I just want to see more positivity and kindness in this world. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, and
I'm naive. I think the world should be better. I think everybody should be nice to each other. I'm naive.
I would agree. We definitely need more of that in the world, Stephen D. But I've quietly been trying to piece together this potential show, whatever you want to call it, sit down, conversation for a minute now. And again, it's just, something would always come up either on my end, their end, or we just can't get everybody on the same page. But I will make a conscious effort here, like as of today, to get this, to put this plan in motion, and hopefully we can get and everybody can come together. Because I do think, bro, it'd be a banger of a show. It would be probably one of the most classic shows on YouTube in our community, bro. It really would, no matter whose platform it's on. So everybody benefits. The individuals that partake and participate in the conversation benefits. The subscriber base, the fan base, everybody's tuning in to listen. They benefit. So I am definitely going to exert more effort into trying my best to get this together. And I think it's going to happen. But, in the event that it does, hopefully everybody that is impacted by the conversation and by this show, everybody comes out in a much better place than what they entered in. And I can't promise it. I can't 100% say it's going to happen, but I'm going to do my best to do that. And hopefully we can all learn and move on. And, so, with that being said, bro, Stephen D, my advice to you, though, is don't let this stuff get you to the point where, because I'm looking at your face and your body language, bro. You look like your dog died or something. I mean, for stretches of the show, man, you just like slumped over, man. You sweating, bro.
Lewis will tell you, I think everybody has something to offer to this world, and some people think, Stephen, you're too nice. Some people, and maybe that's true, and some people think I'm not genuine, and I'm like, I don't know how you have that from me. I will give you the shirt off my back. You don't want the big ass shirt off my back.
That's because we're not this nice, Steven. That's all it is. Like, if they stick around long enough, they'll know that you're super genuine and what your niceness. Yeah. It's just,
I just want everybody. That's just me.
Buddy.
So anyway, with that being said, gentlemen,
all upset.
I love you, man.
Hey, salute to you, Steven, man. I'm gonna get back on my grind, bro. And Lou, you know what it is. And Cap, go fuck yourself. Yeah. So salute to y'all, man. Y'all gentlemen have a good day. Till next time, fellas.
Love you, brother.
All right.
Later.
All right, Cap. Final thought of the day.
So, listen, now that EM's out of here, all the hate.
Now we can say whatever we want about EM.
Now all the hate has left the panel. He's taken away his gas can and his threatening tone for the rest of us. We can all go back to spread kindness and love around here. Now, look, here it is, plain and simple. Not everybody got to get along. I don't even think everyone got to respect.
By the way,
each other.
that was never even my narrative or point to have everybody get along. It's a respect thing. Just respect people's stuff. That's it.
So they don't even have to respect them. They just got to respect themselves enough to not lose their temper about someone else.
That's fair.
There is a thing. People take shots and stuff like that. And listen, I'm guilty of it, just like everybody else. But I'm here for the smoke. I get it. If you don't get the show,
I am not here for the smoke.
I am. So I'm fine with it. It's fine. I see that it's a necessity for a release amongst this fan base. If they stick around long enough, they'll see that it's more about having fun, and that, this is a way in which, locker room type of nonsense gets, worked out. It's no different than any other sport that I played and had a team. You guys were mean as hell to each other, as far as pranks and just, messing with each other, but there were also the people that stood next to you in battle, and when you needed something that was real, that's where you went first, and they were always there. So, if it's not that, then there has to be a thin line of respect to where y'all stay away from each other. So that's what it comes down to. I hope that this big time, all time content creator sit down, mashup, whatever you want to call it, can happen. Maybe EM will. I'll talk to him about that at a different date. Maybe I can help. I'm sure every one of us can help. And then
Kevin Lee with his $5 donation said, "Don't forget Stephen the Finn's tailgate in top 4 shows. Let's go." Yes, top 4, not top 3. Top 4.
Again, I'm here for the smoke. I can take all. That's part of, I guess you could call it my charm. I don't know. Some people really hate it, bro. They really hate it that I can take a joke and they can't. But that's okay. You don't have to be the biggest, the baddest, the smartest, the funniest, anything. Everyone, different strokes for different folks. There's plenty of people out here in this community, and there is a mutual respect amongst the majority. And if it could be all of it, that would be great. But then again, we're talking about a perfect world, and if that's not where some people want to be, that's okay too, man. So just don't come looking for the smoke from me, because I'll be more than happy to oblige. So
hey, Cap, do you think Steven was taking a shot at me when he said I couldn't come on the show?
I think so. I think the shot was most certainly right at you in between the eyes, buddy.
F that guy. I said F that guy.
I know. I couldn't believe it myself, but we'll have to have a private conversation. That's how Steven likes to handle those things. He's gonna really tell you about yourself back there. I can't wait to hear it. All right, guys. I'll see you, Steven. Listen, buddy. We all stand here for each other. This is a community. We're going to be at the stadium. We're going to be at the games. We see each other. We embrace each other. And, some people really want to take it to a violent place. And there's few of us in this community that are happy to oblige them for that. But the majority of it is we're here for good times, good fun, and good football. So that's it. Capitan is out of here. I'll see y'all later.
All right. Love you, brother. Be good. All right, hurry up, Lewis.
Nothing. It was a very good show, very productive, Steven, and hopefully this show happens because, again, that's the only way we're all going to get better in all this, man. You ain't got to be friends. Cap, I think, said it right. You ain't got to be friends. You don't even have to respect. But as long as there's a healthy
conversation,
healthy conversation, and just let people just do what they want to do on their platforms, I think it'll just be a better place, man.
Everybody has something to offer, and just because you don't like it doesn't mean somebody else doesn't appreciate it. So I love you, man. Just know I love you. And
likewise, bro. The feeling's mutual.
Wednesday, you're running the show here, man. Okay.
I got you. I'll be back Monday. I'll be back on work Tuesday, but I think I'm going to take Wednesday off. So
all right. Well, you better be, because you are running Wild Out Wednesday on Wednesday. Like, you need to come in, open up the show, do the rundown, welcome everybody, drop the link, all that stuff. Okay.
Listen, there's not a better person in this community, and this is where I'm going to toot my own horn, to host Wild Out Wednesday than your boy.
That's true. And by the way, the only way don't kick anybody off unless they're cussing people out, being straight disrespect. Give them a strike or two, right? Allow them. But we want to try to cut this, and we want to try to cut down on what we're trying to do, what I'm trying to do here.
Absolutely.
Okay? We don't care too much for the big drama up here. All right. And timeouts are in full effect, and Swear Jar will be in full effect. So you better make sure you're on with it. Okay. Lewis, trying to raise money for the channel and help the channel grow. Okay.
I got you.
I love you, man.
All right. Love you too, bro.
Bye. All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Man, I was not expecting to be up here for this long today. I was hoping to go, I don't know, probably an hour and a half. It was Shamaj. Anybody drops 100 right now, because it's the last day of the month. Drop 100 right now. No Swear Jar on Wednesday. I'll let it happen again. Drop 100 right now. No swear jar on Wednesday. I'm just saying. No, man. I love you guys. You guys are the best fans in the world. It's absolutely fun to do this show on a day in, day out basis. EM, thank you for coming up. I think that it was a very, very productive conversation. To the people that I didn't let come on, I apologize. If I did assume that there would probably be some beef that I just didn't want to, and I liked the direction that the conversation was going in. So please don't take it personally. If you do, I apologize. It was not meant to be as a direct disrespect towards you. It was just meant to be. I like where the direction of the conversation was going, and I think it needed to be had in that moment. And I didn't want a full panel. I wanted a couple of people, and I liked the conversation, right? Samaj said, here's my 20. I got 20 on it. I like it, man. I like it, man. Perfect Q says, EM, still waiting on your show. When it does happen, I'll be the first subscriber. You got it, EM. You see, people want you, man. They want you out here. Go enjoy the rest of everybody's content for next week. That's what I want you to do. Just enjoy people's content next week. Wednesday, there'll be a show, and Friday, there'll be a show here, and I will be back the following Monday. I'm not going to leave you guys for longer than a week. I'm going to have a good time. If you guys want to donate to the channel and help the channel grow in a way that YouTube doesn't take out like 50% of anything, my Cash App and PayPal are here. It's always good. It always helps. I just dropped the link in the chat. Feel free to donate if you're able to. Hit the like button. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your loved ones. It's Spread Kindness Fridays. I hope you all enjoy everything. You guys are the best in the world. I will see you all next Monday, or the following Monday. Not next one, the following one. Right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. You guys are the best. I love you all. Enjoy. Peace.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprise. Switch it up, now we improvise. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach.